Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tombs of Scoria. Our party is up to no good this week, it seems. But before we get up to no good, let's figure out what you've been up to in the real world, and then we'll hop into the D's and the D's. Let's start with Steven. What's going on, buddy?
Not that much. I'm just excited. Spending all of my free time planning on D&D. That's all I've been thinking about for every single day, all the time.
Wow.
True.
Yep.
Wow. I hope you don't have a partner nearby who needs your attention or free time for anything.
Nope, she's in Europe right now, so I'm not distracted. I can put all of my
There you
free time
go.
into thinking about D&D and all the ways we can kill ourselves and all the horrible decisions my allies have made. So yes, that's what I'm
Love
ready
it.
for. Yeah.
Love it. What about you, MrMouton? You also thinking about D&D all the time?
Thinking about D&D all the time. Thinking about one of the members who will sit there silently. Me and Nick will come up with a plan, and then he'll interject and call us dumb fucks, but he didn't contribute at all to it, so, you know, it's kind of how it goes. So
To be clear, I don't have any problems with the plan. I didn't realize we were just giving away items for free after complaining so much about having items stolen from us. But you know, some
Stay
sure it'll be
mad.
good.
Nice. Nice. And Mr. Nicholas?
I've also been thinking about D&D. Been at work. Fucking hell, where is this week gone? Like, it feels like I don't know. I've literally done nothing. I think I've left the house twice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very exciting. Well then, where we last left off, our party drilled a hole in the head of a statue, turned it to flesh, and the statue sort of turned back to flesh, and then the flesh faded away, and then all these magical items fell to the ground around you guys, while a couple of the folks are here down in the dungeons with you. I think we will pick up where we left off, in the dungeons.
Where did he go?
I don't know.
Well, we saw him dissolve right in front of us, right?
Maybe that's what happens to truly evil beings. They just turn to like a wraith or something.
Wraith. Didn't somebody say that this guy was a wraith?
I don't think I ever heard about it.
Well, regardless of what happened to him, I don't think he's much of a threat now. Let's collect our belongings and take off.
Yep, you're right. There's that sword, Tyrell. What do you think? What do you make of it?
It seems like a pretty cool sword. I don't know. I'll test it out later. I'm sure. Hopefully, it's as powerful as as we'd hoped it would be.
As you guys pick up the items and stuff, Anton will go and harass one of the prisoners who picked up some of the gold. Take it
I
away.
dropped the gold and back into their cell. Couldn't do anything with it anyway. I was just picking it up to be useful.
Give him a punch if I can. If not, then
Yeah, the prisoner cowers before you.
based.
Who else is down here with us? Is it just the wizard?
The mage? Yeah, the wizard.
Is it him that's been doing the identifying for us? Or someone else?
It's her, sorry.
Her. sorry.
Her, yeah.
Has it her that's been doing it, or is it somebody else?
Most of the time, it's been her. There have been a couple times where it's had to be outsourced to somebody else.
Okay. So I'll say to her then, look like you've got your work cut out here. There's a number of things that look like they could be magical. Are you going to be able to identify all this for us? We should be around for a week or two.
Her gaze settles over you. When I have time, yes. But there are great things afoot that need my attention.
I'm sure. Yeah, there's some other things that we could use your help with. If not today, perhaps sometime this week if I could speak to you.
She gives you the, hold on a moment, and begins chanting the words to another spell.
Okay. Spellcraft.
Yeah, give me a spellcraft check.
I will give you a spellcraft check.
Give it to me.
That's what she said. Oof. So, wait, Lookstone.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, this is not a
it's-
defensive maneuver.
Okay.
That's the problem with Luckstones. Everyone's trying to get a +1 in any situation. I'm with them.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Koibu, I said it doesn't count.
hey, if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
True.
She observes the area and says, another time then. We'd best grab these things and leave soon.
What do you mean?
There's something strange afoot here.
What do you mean by something strange?
Oh, yeah, I'll ask, what did you see?
There's a lot of magic coming off of the three of you and that pile, it's hard to tell. There's a lot of magic in this room. More than I feel comfortable being around.
Okay, we'll grab the stuff and follow her out.
Wait. If it's to do with Gaelic here, maybe we should wait around. Right? If he's not dead, if he's coming back, we should probably be here when it happens. No.
Suit yourself, and she leaves.
Wait.
What? Wizards, arrogant. What do you guys think? We should wait down here, or?
How long are we gonna wait? How do you know that something's gonna come back?
I don't know. She seemed pretty worried.
Well, he's got a hole in his head, so.
I guess so. All right.
I guess we
it's
could kick
probably
it down
nothing.
here if you want, but
No.
it's up to you.
Fuck it. Let's leave. Help me carry all this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we should be able to carry it pretty easily. I've got a bag of holding, and then we can
Yeah.
equip and hold everything else. Wait, are we really
Grab
just
things.
going to
It might
leave?
take a couple of trips to bring it up to the top level. It's not a problem.
Well, Tyrael, if you don't want to leave, we can stick around.
It feels so strange to me that we were so invested in the destruction of this creature, and then upon hearing that maybe it's rematerializing or something, we're just going to walk away from it. Felt like we had
Yeah, I agree. Let's just give it a few
sure,
hours,
let's wait.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't know
Listen,
why we think that it's rematerializing.
Well, she
I,
seemed incredibly nervous, and the excuse that she gave was bizarre. There was a lot of magic in the room, so she left. She's been standing next to us the entire time we've been here. It doesn't seem she had a problem before.
Let's stick around.
I'm gonna walk down to the end of the entranceway to the dungeon and speak to the guard there, and say,
Sure.
"Listen, buddy."
The other
where-
guards have left it, so it's just the three of you in the dungeons with the people. Except now that you've walked away. Sorry.
We're gonna stay down here for a little bit. Could you go and get us some chairs?
One of the guards will do so.
Thanks, mate. All right, I'll walk back over. Okay, well, the guards are bringing some chairs. Let's give it a few hours. I'm gonna look at my spell books anyway. I think I'm on the verge of a breakthrough. You got a candle, Tyrael?
You have a candle, don't you? Oh no, wait, I have the candle. Yeah, I've got a
Yeah,
candle.
the candle.
Thanks. When the chairs get here, Neil, I'm gonna start reading my spell books. I've just leveled up. I get new spells, so let me know
Excellent.
when.
Yeah. I think to get your spells, it'll take a little bit of research and then a number of days to write them down in your book, so you'll need some time. But we can, when you're not in the dungeon, we can have you pick your spells.
I'll just hang out.
You guys wait. Yeah. There's some lantern light that you guys are sitting in, provided by the jailers. You've got some chairs. And after, let's say about an hour, you hear a psst, psst, coming from one of the prisoners. Hey!
I'll look over to him.
The prisoner is like on his belly, face up to the bars. My lord. My lord. Psst.
I look at him.
I can help you.
I'll
I know things.
I'll laugh at him.
I'm down here for the things that I know. If you help me escape, I can help you.
I'll call over Tyrael. Tyrael, get a load of this guy. He thinks he knows things and can help us.
What does it
I
think
know
he
about the
knows?
magic of the Frostlands. Help me and I'll help you. Get me out of here.
If Tyrael doesn't come over or do anything, I'll just kick him.
No.
Nah, there's no need for that, Anton. Now, the man's suffered enough, clearly. You said you're gonna help us. What could someone like you possibly do for us?
I know things.
Yeah, you
I've
keep
seen
saying.
things.
What have you seen, friend?
I worked for Princess Sella in Solwick. She
Great.
sent me to the Frostlands with some of her
Okay.
knights. It was an expedition, a preparatory expedition, until we uncovered something there.
How did you end up in the dungeon?
I spoke about it. When we came back to Solwick, I told my tale in the tavern, and the next morning I found myself arrested. I ended up here.
It's a curious story, friend. Why don't you tell me your story? You've already been sentenced to it for once. There's no harm in telling it again.
Oh, no. This is my one ticket out of here. You help me out, and I'll tell you anything you want to know. I'll even guide you back there, although I'd never want to return. Let me out. I know things.
All right, friend. You sit back there. Let me talk to them. I go wander back over to where Anton and Tyrell are sitting. Just
I
got
would
some
for
thought.
sure in the cell have dictate, because if Gayward came back, I would probably try to dictate him.
Yeah, I think you wrote your spell list down somewhere.
At
probably.
some point, yeah.
Yeah, I'll walk back over to you and say, this guy's got a tall tale. Says that Princess Saladin and Sulwick sent him to the Frostlands, and he saw something down there and was arrested the next day after speaking about it. Certainly sounds curious, but I'm sure
I'm
it's
gonna
just...
dictate him and tell him to tell us.
If you think it's worth your time, it's probably tall tales. I'm sure a man in his situation would say anything to escape his predicament, but
What should I say? Tell us what you know about what happened in, where was it? Caledonia, then?
the Frostlands, south of Sulwick Hill. Wait. Let me head back over to the guards. I'll walk back over to the... How many guards are here, Neil?
There are 2 guards at the top of the staircase outside of the dungeon area, well out of earshot. You know,
Okay.
back
There's
a ways and then
there's
up
no
some
one down here.
stairs. It's just you guys and the occasional prisoner.
How many prisoners are down here?
You don't have a head count. Not all the cells are full. There's probably somewhere in 10 to 40. You know, these dungeons are pretty long. You haven't even explored this whole floor.
Okay. So I'll just go up the stairs and make sure that there's no one else to be worried about. Make sure it is just the 2 guards. I'll just go and thank them for bringing the chairs. And I'll come back down. I'll go up to Anton and say, well, the coast's clear. If this guy wants to tell his story, it's only going to be us hearing and maybe a few of these other urchins here, but I don't suppose anyone would believe them.
In my chair, I'll cast dictate on him, and the dictate will be tell me what you know, or tell me what happened. Tell me your tale that happened in the Frostlands.
Excellent. Let me just take a quick look at the dictate spell, but I'm sure you're using it perfectly. Dictates improved version of command. 6 creatures in a 20-foot cube. Whole sentence. He can understand you. Perfect. You said, tell me what happened in the Frostlands?
I said tale specifically because it
Tale,
seems like he has
yeah.
a tale to tell.
Right.
Yeah.
I went down to the Frostlands with a couple of knights. I was carrying their goods, and we saw a group of elves in there. They wouldn't leave footprints on the snow. We tried to parley with them, and they fled from us. We couldn't catch up with them. They walked atop the snow like little birds. Fled from us. We chased after them and got caught in a blizzard. Never found them again. But we found a hut with a strange person in it. Half-elven in nature. We left and went back to Solwick to report our findings.
I'll chuckle. That's it? That's your ticket out of here?
He blinks a few times as the magic fades now that he's told you his tale, and begins to crawl away from you on the ground and backs himself into a far corner on the other side of the cell.
I feel a little bit bad about him, but...
That's strange. Ain't no way he'd be arrested for that, surely.
Well, and here he is. Maybe
Well,
it was for something else.
What was he charged with?
You could ask a guard.
Is there any limitations to that spell of yours, Anton? Perhaps some of the details are missed out. Maybe
Perhaps.
he is just telling a tale of the Frostlands rather than the whole tale.
Perhaps. I said tell your tale, so I would assume that he's going to say the whole thing. It seemed like it kind of ended, too. So, I mean, it's probably just a crazy prisoner in the dungeon trying to get out. And that's all he had to say. Did one good deed. Well, he got thrown in here for, I don't know, betraying someone, who knows.
Interesting. Why would he be in prison here and not in Solwick?
If he had more to say, he'd be over here groveling right now. Instead, he crawled back into his little corner. That's all he had to say.
Okay, I'll sit back down, and I mean, I'll wait a bit longer now, but once we get bored again, I might go over and speak to him again.
Yeah. You get bored eventually.
I'll go up to the cell bars and reach into my bag and pull out like some bread or something.
I can give you some of my stuff if you want, out of my...
Cloak of Plenty?
cloak are plenty. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
There's
I'll
like
take the
Cinnabons and like cider. So if you want
I'll take the glass of cider and the Cinnabon or the bread or whatever. And I'll go, "Psst, you come over here. I've got something for you." And I'll put the bread and the glass through the bars, on his side of the cage.
Yeah, he crawls on over towards you.
I'll let him take a drink or whatever.
He'll sip from the drink. He'll eat the bread. Thank you. Thank you.
I crouch down near to him and I'll lower my voice and say, "That tale you told us doesn't seem enough to get a man thrown in jail. Listen, I'd like to help you. I've got friends in the city, obviously.
I don't want any trouble.
I understand, but without knowing your story, I can't help you. I can't speak to anyone important and tell them that there's a man with a story and we need to let him out of prison. You could
Sneak me out.
There's a chance I
See
could
me
help
work
you,
magic.
but you'd have to reveal to me your story in full first, and I'd deem the worth of it. I understand you'd be taking a risk, placing your trust in me, but it's all I can offer. It's your decision.
If I tell you why would you ever let me out?
I'm a man of my word. I'll try and help you as much as I can, if it's deemed worthy.
He shakes his head furiously back and forth.
There's not much I can do to help you. Maybe my brother's magics will be able to probe your mind instead.
I'll yell over.
No,
Imric.
that's okay. It's fine. Leave me be. Leave me be. I don't want any trouble. I don't need the whip again.
You're being too soft. If you keep talking to them, every prisoner is going to come up to you with a sob story about how they're in here for no reason, and they have secret missions and secret identities, and they want you to take them out.
The man
Leave
suffered
him alone.
greatly, Anton. A bread roll and some cider is not going to do any harm. I'll come back over. But you're right. It's probably nothing.
I'll throw him one of my ribs out of my cloak of plenty.
He scampers to grab the rib off of the dirty cell floor, eats it, grime and all.
Don't make me feel bad.
Okay.
I'll
a couple
stand
more
up.
hours pass.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, after a couple hours pass, I guess if nothing happens, I'll stand up and be like, "We're wasting our time here." It seems. If you guys want to sit down here longer, you can. I'll dust myself off, but I'm gonna go hang out.
No, I think we've spent enough time in this dark place. Let's leave. Let's head back to our chambers.
As we're leaving, I'll tell the guards if anything happens, we're to be the first to know. And
What do you mean happens?
We don't know.
I don't know. If someone magically teleports in or something, we're to be the first to know. And so is that wizard lady. I'll hand him 10 gold in a little pouch.
You could see that his face was about to give you some sort of retort about priorities, and then the 10 gold appears in his hand, and his face softens and goes, "Of course. I'll make sure you're informed as quickly as something interesting happens."
There's another person next to him, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
I'll hand him 10 gold too. I'm taking off the party sheet.
Okay. They promise to deliver any news to you that might be needed or might be of interest to you.
As we're leaving up the stairs, I'll say, "Have a good night, lads. Don't get too bored."
Yeah, 10 gold's like $1,000.
Yeah.
We added all of that gold that we got from Georg is added to the party sheet or something?
Yep.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna head to my room and try and learn new spells since I've just leveled up.
Great. Let's do a macro view of what we're doing. It sounds like there's going to be some downtime while you learn spells. Everyone rests from their wounds. I guess you're already rested from your wounds. But just some downtime while you rest and recover and you learn spells.
Yeah.
Was there anything
Yeah.
you guys wanted to do in this big downtime zone?
Anton's gonna have a big conversation with his brothers about their place. They're getting close to killing dragons, so Anton may be getting a little paranoid about what happens afterwards. Like, say we kill Scoria, so he's gonna have a long talk with his two brothers, probably in the most secure place of their home.
Yeah, let's do this. So what? It's maybe that night, right? When we've got back to the house and we're I don't know.
Well, yeah. Before this, can I just ask, what are the rumors that we have heard? I guess growing up from our mom, from other nobility about the queen. Do we know, like, is she like a stand-up lady? Have we always heard like she's awesome, or are there some?
So
yeah.
your mother was going to be the original queen, but she bailed on it in order to have a family and have a normal life, and gave her sister the position, which was kind of a
was
dick
she
move.
ever queen? Was she queen and then abdicated, or did she abdicate before she was ever queen?
That is a significant plot point that my age-addled brain can't remember right now. So let me do a quick moment of looking through my notes.
I think it actually would make quite a big difference in terms of how legitimate of a claim Tyrion would have.
Yeah, let me look at what I wrote in the backstory for this campaign.
Would it make a difference though?
I think so, yeah.
Why?
Because if you can say that your mother was the queen,
Well, she was
that
in
gives
line
you
to be the
claim.
queen, right? Does it matter?
I feel like that's not the same thing. Yeah.
Really?
I don't
Yeah.
feel like it matters. I
Yeah.
feel like Tyrion got fucked out of what he was like rightfully owed.
Maybe you'd feel a
which
little
is
bit
what
more
his character
fucked if
could feel
the
like, yeah.
queen was queen, or if the mom
Maybe.
was queen, but...
Was not supposed to be. She is the second daughter and was not groomed in the same way as her older sister. When the last monarch was nearing their deathbed, Valuria's older sister made a choice. She had been seeing a young man from a ruined family and decided she would rather lead a quiet life instead of one of rulership. She was more suited to a small life, and it had been a concern for years. Their parents always asking her why she couldn't be more like her younger sister. Not fearing the potential claim to the throne, Valuria accepted the new responsibility. So it's as the former monarch was dying that this happened. She did not banish her sister and did not have her killed. She did require her sister to change her last name, give up her
Damn.
possessions, bands, titles, lands, and titles. And then she gave her a very generous wedding gift that lifted the family out of ruin and poverty and allowed them a moderate living in an old and spacious home in the city. So the queen could have killed your mom, could have ended your family line, could have exiled all of you guys, but decided to like
Keep
her
us
sister
around if she needed somebody to do something useful. She needed a family to
you guys, like,
manipulate under her
land
thumb.
Yeah, lifted your family out of poverty.
But she's
been
put us in
Pittance,
poverty.
a pittance
No, no, no,
compared to what she could have offered us, is what you're saying.
Your sister, your mother opted to like piece out of everything, leaving all of her wealth and titles and everything behind, and married into like a broken, ruined family. And then the queen gave you guys enough money to
Bought
give you,
our
like, a
silence and
moderate
loyalty,
lifestyle.
the small sum of gold. That's all I'm
Sure,
hearing.
what you're saying
Yeah.
is our mom fucked us.
I don't know. Your mom created you. Otherwise, you would have been someone else entirely different. You wouldn't have had your same father. You wouldn't have grown up in the ways that you did. You would have had a castle life, if any. Who knows who your father would have been? Probably
So I
some
guess-
douchebag.
What rumors would we have known, or anything we've heard from our mom? We know that like her husband died. So what rumors have we heard about that? Yeah. How is she like overall the queen currently?
The rumors about the queen's husband's death are many. They flood the kingdom. There's always talk that, he fell mysteriously from a balcony window, or he was poisoned one night. Someone says he choked on a chicken bone, which shouldn't be possible in a castle full of wizards and clerics. The story that you have heard, which comes directly from your mother, who heard it directly from her sister, is the saddest version of all. He just wasted away and died. He got sick and faded, and it was very ordinary, very unexceptional. Just a man was ill. They had some healing spells cast on him. They made him better for a little while, and he just faded and died.
That doesn't sound right to me, correct? Like knowing what magical healing can do, like cure disease.
Some things aren't diseases. If we want to put it in modern terms, like, there are things like tumors or cancers or whatever that like a cure disease wouldn't have fixed. So it's possible, even with magic healing, for people to have physical conditions that would end their life.
Yeah.
It's just, for a king or a queen's consort to die that way is a little sus.
Okay. So I guess we'll have like the conversation in our most secure place.
Yeah. But before any of this happens, even as you get back to your home, you find your mother and a couple of servants in the common room downstairs.
Well, correction.
She's
We
waiting
find
for you.
somebody that looks like our mother. To be clear.
That's true.
Okay.
That's true.
Somebody that stole our
good to
hat of
see you.
disguise from us.
I'll go up and embrace her. And sort of push her back at arm's length. It's so great to see you. It's been a long time. Right? We've been traveling.
Yes, please, children, have a seat. This is exactly what I wish to speak with you about.
What am I picking up on wisdom? Does she look worried? Does she look
She's
relieved?
worried. Yeah, you don't even need to make any checks. You can see the lines of worry crossing her face. She's got that all too familiar chewing of her lower lip that lets you know she's got something on her mind that is bothering her.
Yeah, we'll take a seat, I imagine.
That's it.
What's troubling you, Millie? You seem distressed. Surely everything will be just fine.
Where are we at right now, just to be clear on who's here? It was her and
In
some
your
servants? Okay, okay.
With
Yeah,
some
some of the
servants,
servants of your household. You
Okay,
know,
yeah,
all the
that's
normal.
fine. Gotcha.
I've been worried about the three of you. I don't know where you've been going. And there's a war on. My husband, your father, is away now, and the three of you have been going out on these hunting trips, which I know aren't hunting trips. The servants told me they'll take you to a faraway city and you'll hop on a boat and not come back for weeks at a time. And when you do return, there's not an animal between you all. I understand there are secrets to be kept, but where are you going? What is happening? Why do you appear and disappear without telling me a word? At first, I was happy to see the three of you getting along together, working together instead of off in your separate areas doing your own things. But it's been almost a year now, and I worry. There are dragons, and there are armies. I don't want to lose my children. I might lose my husband. What's happening?
As she
Talk
was
to me.
talking about it, Anton's eyes will dart in like a mean way towards like the servants.
Yeah.
Can he spot which one fucking snitched?
Oh. I mean, all the servants are already, downcast, not making eyes with anyone. This is an awkward conversation for them to be near. These are the not the
House
servants that would
servants?
drive you guys around. These are the get me some tea and crumpet servants.
Okay.
Wait,
I'll
can
take
I ask
note
a
of it.
question real fast? Why aren't we fighting in the war?
You guys
'Cause
got
we're on a
tagged
secret
for this
dragon mission?
instead?
I know that we're on a
that's
secret
the
mission, but why does our mom think we're not fighting in the war? Because aren't we necessary?
That's probably what this conversation is going to be about.
So she's never
what
had
the
a
fuck are you doing with
conversation
your
about
son?
this, or because I imagine because her husband was drafted to war, our father was, right? But her 3 able-bodied sons were not fighting. So does she
Yeah. You guys are of the right rank and age to be military officers. Your family has already given the head of your family, though, your father, to go fight. So usually you don't draft every single available person in the whole country, right? You take one from every noble family, and then you take a few people from every village, and then as the war drags on, more nobles and more villagers come up into the ranks.
Can I
So
try to? I don't think I just don't think I would do this in front of servants. I'm pretty sure a real noble person would throw them off and send them away. Can I see if I can see through an illusion? I'm gonna look to see if this is really our mother. I know it sounds weird, but it seems like a really weird thing to do as well.
to have a conversation with her children about what they're
Well,
up
with
to, where
a bunch
they're
of
going.
servants around, right?
I mean,
Well, I
once
mean,
she stops
it sounds like a
asking
casual motherly conversation. She's just asking, where have you guys been? You guys been leaving the house a ton.
Yeah.
What's going on? It's not like she needs
Oh,
privacy.
I
for this.
want to look. I want to see if I can see through it. At the very least.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead. Roll me a d20.
Whilst they start, when she starts asking these questions, I'll stand up and gather up the servants and get them out of the room and close the door.
Okay.
Come and sit back down.
Yeah, I'll I'll kind of look to our mother. Mother, as you know, our father is fighting incredibly bravely on the front lines, I think, against against Mistrain armies against the wrath of Scoria. Now, we had an option to join the war effort up front. However, we've been taking care of some small side projects on behalf of your younger sister, right? It was younger sister. Yeah. Unfortunately, as you know, these times are dangerous. We must remain tight-lipped about what it is that we do. But I promise you, the three of us are staying as safe as we can. And I promise you that our actions have all been incredibly noble, and that at the end of the day, when everything comes to light, we'll be proud of the efforts that me and my two younger brothers have undertaken.
Valoria hasn't said anything to me about you all. Where are you going? What are you doing? Tell me.
I guess I scratched my head awkwardly a little bit. Unfortunately, I'm sure you know that everything is so crazy now. With everything going on, this war potentially coming to a close within a year or two. I don't know if it would be appropriate for us to share with you everything that we've done, if for nobody else's safety, but perhaps your own.
Do you have something to do with the war effort? Are you in danger?
No, we're not in any danger, of course not.
Where have you been going on those ships of yours?
How does she know we're on ships?
Yeah, can I detect grudges?
What?
Yeah, you can go ahead and detect grudges.
Yeah,
it's just the
what's the
ones
grudges
between
coming
you
up?
and your family. Your mom has no grudge against you.
Well, it's just weird, like this.
It's not weird at all. She just wants to know where we've been.
Okay, listen. If I want to play my character and look at these things, I don't want to hear shit from you. Okay?
You can do it, but if
Chill.
you're saying out of character, it's weird. I don't think it's weird at all. I think it's totally normal. Or are you saying this in character? Are you screaming in the room? This is weird.
No, I'm saying it out of character. It's fucking. It's.
But then I responded to you out of character.
You just said about the ships, and now you're like, how's it weird at all? When you just said.
Well, that's why I
how
asked
you're being-
Koibu. How the fuck does she know we're on ships?
Why don't you ask her?
Ships, mother. What makes you think we've been traveling the oceans?
Because the servants go with you in tow, and then you don't come back for months. And then when you go again, I ask them, and they tell me. It's not their fault. I am their matriarch. Don't get mad at them. But they say they've seen you get on ships, and then they wait for a month in town until you return.
I look to Anton and Tyrael and sort of sigh and say, Mother, I can provide some clarity here, but this information it's top secret. You'd have to keep this to yourself. But,
I shake my head.
Secret? What are you involved in?
I shake my head a bit.
we've been acting as emissaries. Once the war is won and Mistray is defeated, our queen will need alliances with the other kingdoms. This is work that the crown doesn't want to know that we've been involved in this, so we've been keeping it under wraps. I'm sure we can trust you to keep quiet, but that's why we've been traveling around on ships so much.
I was once upon a time to be queen of this land. I know how to keep a secret. I am well trained in political doctrine and negotiations. I have sat in more meetings with more royal members than you will in your entire lifetime. I know how to handle these things. Please, just tell me what's happening. I worry about you. I'm scared about losing you.
Mother,
Ask your sister.
we've essentially been glorified errand boys for the crown. As Imrig rightfully points out, some of our missions might be diplomatic. Sometimes we're merely fetching items. Sometimes we're delivering messages. If you truly wish to know what's going on with us, or if you truly wish to know the details of our mission, as Anton said, you can ask your sister. I'm sure she'll be willing to tell you whatever it is she feels is appropriate to tell you, but otherwise, obviously you must understand we can't divulge details to you about what it is that we do.
I understand you're keeping your oaths that you have sworn. I respect that. Thank you for telling me. Are you safe? Are you in trouble?
Of course we're safe. Look at Imric over here. I think he's healthier than ever. Anton is growing into a fine young man. I myself have managed to hold on to my health. We come to you with life and limb. We should look dapper as ever, I imagine, right?
Outside of the threat of the odd pirate, maybe a mermaid here or there, we're totally safe, Mother. There's no need to worry.
And what about the things you've brought back with you?
Which
I
things?
have been turning my head one way and the other and not saying anything, but, well, the things you carry on your backs when you come in the house are not the things that you used to carry around the house, if you know what I mean. I haven't said anything, but I've noticed. Been
Real
dabbling
work.
in magical weapons and armor? Probably other things?
Royal work brings royal rewards, and once our emissary work is done, there may be a day where we're asked to join the fight on the front lines. Hopefully not, but it
Can
helps
I-
to be well equipped.
Have a
careful.
conversation with my brother's mother, and then we'll.
Of course, but let me first say before you go, Anton, you have to be careful. If people see you carrying that amount of wealth in this world, it will make you a target.
Of course, I nod
Carrying
my head.
magic
That's why
so openly.
every time we leave the house, we wear thick cloaks so nobody around the town can see anything that we're wearing. That's why we're always incredibly careful when we're traveling among the village, and we don't obviously wouldn't walk around flaunting these items openly. That would be unimaginably stupid. And of course, we would have the foresight to wear the necessary protection to make sure that not everybody around the neighborhood could see the items that we wear.
Or cloaks and everything with protection and stuff.
Yeah.
There are prying eyes in this neighborhood. Might
True,
be
the
filled with
servants seem
nobles,
to be
but there
looking
are
too.
a great many spellcasters lying around. All it takes is one rogue detect magic, someone practicing a spell out their window and happening to catch, the passing, whatever it is. Imric, you know what I'm talking about.
course.
And then it's just...
Have you heard any such tales? Has somebody given you trouble in the neighborhood, or do you have reason to fear for us that you didn't before?
Year and a half ago or so, I had a family. I had 3 loving children and a husband, and we had a good life. That's why I left my position in the capital. And now, my husband's in Bontheris, my children are God's knows where, taking half the servants with them, and I am home alone with nothing to do but worry. Worry about my family. And so here I am, worrying to your face.
I
Hoping
stand
to talk some sense into you.
I stand up and I give her a very stern, very upset-looking appearance. Mother, need I remind you that we're in the middle of a war right now, and while it is unfortunate that the household has been a bit turned upside down, at the very least you still have a husband and you still have 3 children. Many others in our kingdom, I need not remind you, might not be as lucky.
She wrings her hands in grief. I know. But you can't fault a mother for wanting her family to be safe, for looking after her children. I will mother you until the day I die, Tyrael. Don't you forget it.
We appreciate the concern. We've been doing our best, though, and yeah, I mean, we're safe. We're fine. You
Good.
Your worry is misplaced,
Just
I promise
talk to
you.
me. That's all. I feel like we haven't talked in a year. That's all I want to know is what's going on with you. Have you met anyone? Are there any girls in
will
your
never
life?
meet anyone.
I'll go to like the dresser on the side of inside one of the rooms, and I'll pull out the letter that girl from Outlast sent me.
Oh.
I'll say, I come and sit down, like rather than sitting where I was before, I'll sit on the chair next to our mother and say, now that you mention it, Mother, our travels did take us to some fine parties, and I did meet a nice young noble lady. This is a letter she sent me. I've not had time to pursue it, but perhaps sooner rather than later, we could be having some good news at least.
Possibly, and I believe Anton here took a young singing half-elf lady into his bedroom one night as well, if I do remember correctly.
I don't need to hear about your debaucherous endeavors, Tyrael. Stop tattling on your younger brother. No one likes a tattletale.
It's worse than that, Mother. He's mocking him.
Anton will shake his head.
He's bullying him. He always does.
He's always bullied me, and you sat by and let him.
No, Anton, don't blame her. Don't listen to the Mother. It's fine. Listen, read that. You can take this
Mother-
for now.
Can you take the letter and let me talk to my 2 brothers just briefly? Maybe I can convince them to fill you in on what's been
She-
going on.
Keeps the letter, folds it in her hands, stands up, waits for you all to stand up with her, comes over, gives each of you a long, uncomfortably motherly hug, big kiss on the cheek, and goes upstairs.
I give her a kiss on the
bringing
cheek
some
back.
servants with her. Thank you, Anton.
If we could ask real quick, we brought a servant without a tongue. Has she been working well here? Any problems with her?
She's been getting along, I suppose. A little hard to communicate with.
Okay.
working as a kitchen maid.
Okay. Just checking.
That's good.
She pauses and looks at you in the eyes, Tyrael. There's nothing I need to know about this one, is there? She's
Nothing at
been
all.
here a few months, and I've yet to see any growth on her.
What kind of growth are you looking for?
What do you mean growth? Oh, she's saying that.
I understand what she's saying. Thank you. What kind of growth are you looking for, Mother?
I am just noticing that there has been no change in her and wondering why she has been appointed to this household. I thought maybe this was a mishap of yours that you were trying to set right.
Mother, I'm going to talk with my two brothers. In the future, I do think it wise for you to hold your tongue a bit. Remember that even if we are your sons,
Excuse me!
even if we are
I
your
brought
sons,
you into this
you are
world,
speaking
and I can bring you
incredibly
right
improperly to me. Okay, for you to
You're
imply
not
that I
too
would
big to
have
bend
such
over my knee,
relations
Tyrael.
with a tongueless commoner. What is wrong with you, Mother? What has gotten into your head?
This is the
What has
first time
happened?
we've spoken in almost months.
times are
Just
making
stop
you
it. Stop
crazy.
arguing. Tyrael, stop it.
I'll leave you all to your own business. Good night. I love you. And she goes upstairs.
Get her
with
outta
some
here.
servants to bring her food.
I look to Emmerich when she leaves. I will not have my honor questioned like this, even if it is by my mother. This is absurd.
Tyrael, calm down. The poor woman is being lied to. She's right. She hasn't spoken to us in over a year. Barely.
If anyone's curious, that is really our mom. I detected grudges and.
What are you talking about, Anton? Of course it's our mother. Are you so jaded?
Anton, that amulet
Well-
is clouding your head.
Well, another thing that made me clouding my head. I will make sure that the servants have efficiently fucked off.
Yeah, they're gone. You know, you can hear someone bumbling around in the kitchen, but if you keep your voice low, there's no way they're going to hear you. And
I'll yell at them to stop bumbling.
they fuck off, leaving their kitchen dishes left till tomorrow. They'll catch hell for it, but better than catching hell from you right now.
I'll lower my tone. Another thing that we need to talk about is we need to talk about what happens after our mission is up. And this will come into play later, but I think telling our mother might be the first step into ensuring our safety.
What are you implying? What safety would we need ensured once Scoria is killed? We'll have no enemies left in these lands.
Well, we'll be extremely powerful. You agree with that, yes?
Yeah, as a representative of our kingdom, of course we will. Might of Drekis will be
Betrayal.
feared around the world.
I'm
Yes.
just worried now. Could be a little blasphemous, but I'm worried that maybe our queen won't have use for us anymore.
Anton, are you implying that the queen would have us, what, executed? Thrown in the dungeons?
Think about it. You have somewhat of a legitimate claim to the throne.
No, Anton, we can't be talking like this.
Anton, our claim is
something we have to-
abdicated. Anton, this is treasonous speak. What are you
It's
talking
something
about?
It's something we should at the very least think about. Ensuring our own safety. Nobody knows about our mission. What happens if, afterwards she's done with us? She has us killed on our way back.
Anton,
She's our
Gives
family.
if we
credit
can't
to John Wick.
if we can't trust our family, then what are we even fighting in this kingdom for?
I'm just
He's
saying,
right, Anton.
fear corrupts.
Anton,
She
maybe
may
when
fear
we're
us.
when we're off the road, maybe you should stop wearing the amulet.
No, the amulet's fine. First off, you guys don't know that the amulet does anything like that.
Boy, I mean, we know that you have an amulet of eternal fucking vengeance that allows you to track people in
Yeah.
the world. I think we would assume that.
You would assume that it can
Fuck with your
detect
mind a
grudges
little
and
bit,
shit?
yeah? This amulet is so don't you show this to people and they're like, oh my god, that's a legendary amulet of fucking Velthara. This is like a once in a...
I don't think anybody's ever seen that, no.
Wait, no,
It's kinda-
am I crazy? Haven't you shown this to people? Like, I am a cleric of Velthara with the amulet. I thought you've done this before in the past, haven't you?
I have probably told them, but they don't know that the amulet's like legendary or whatever, right? Like just by seeing it, it just looks like probably a normal amulet of Elthar.
Yeah, but you've probably
Maybe a
told
little
us
bit
its
more innate.
properties. But anyway,
I have told you that I've told you definitely something. I'm just saying it's something to be cognizant about. Fear corrupts people. I'm not saying our aunt's gonna do it. It's just something to think about and plan for.
well, look, we're a long way away from that yet. There's about 5 other dragons standing between us and Scoria.
We're about to go kill our first one in the coming weeks.
We'd be so lucky that the only person's wrath we'd have to face in the future should be our aunts. I think Emmerich is right. I think we have a lot more in front of us before worrying about silly games of nobility after.
He does have a point, though. You know, once this is all over, we do deserve lands somewhere. Perhaps in Mistrea once they've been crushed.
I'm sure
I
we'll
could
be
see us
rewarded in
just
some way, but
princes.
Imric, are you suggesting that we're only doing this in the hopes of some type of riches or some type of land being bestowed upon us at the end?
No, but Anton's right. I mean, people do get paranoid. Maybe we could come to some sort of agreement beforehand. That way, everyone's on board, everyone's on the same page, you know? Maybe it'll avoid this kind of paranoia, be it on our side, I say, pointing at Anton, or hers.
I don't understand where this thought is coming from. You both legitimately think our aunt would have us killed?
No.
Were we
no,
to be
I
successful
don't.
in our
No,
mission?
I don't.
I think it's a possibility that we should plan for.
What does this planning take the appearance of? What does this look like?
Telling at least our mother of what we're doing.
To be clear, we can't tell anybody of our mission. It is entirely possible. I don't know if it's in it for her mother to do this, although she does have some background in this, right? It's entirely possible that the queen puts her up to asking these questions just to see how loose-lipped we are about our mission. We can never divulge any of these details to her.
Could be, but
our
think
mother
about
is-
think about this. Think about if we killed Scoria and nobody knows of any of the heroic deeds we done. We come back, she calls us draft dodgers, puts us to hang. I'm just saying, someone should know.
She wouldn't do that.
Think of how she freaked out on us for what we did to those Scoria dragoons.
Easily
That seemed overblown.
Did it seem overblown? I mean, we were quite reckless. We wandered into almost enemy lands. We slaughtered an entire wing of Scoria flag-wielding troops. Like, I think the paranoia was justified, no?
She's just worried for us, Anton.
Maybe.
Our mother, she's not great with stress. Why do you think she abdicated in the first place? She can't be trusted with that kind of knowledge. It will tear her up inside.
Well, we have to tell her something.
We told her something. That'll have to do. I don't like it as much as you, Anton. Trust me. I'm going to be remembering that conversation when I sleep tonight, but what can we do? It's our burden.
Also, keep in mind, we may be her children, which is true, but she spent more time with her sister than any of the three of us. So, if she has any questions to ask, she can very easily just go to her sister and ask. Well, they're like in their, 50s, right? They must be. 50s or 60s, right, Koibu?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Ballparky.
Yeah, she can simply go and talk to her sister if she has questions concerning us, but it's not our place to say anything, of course not. And if anything, should something horrible happen, which we all pray to the gods it doesn't, if she ever falls into the wrong hands or gets captured or threatened, the more information she knows about us, the worse all of us will be.
What about if you, well, we need to do our scrying for the night anyways. I agree. Probably nothing will happen. I'm just, maybe the amulet is making me a little paranoid. I don't know.
It's good to talk, though, Anton. Don't keep it to yourself. You can trust us.
Can you
the
at
end of
least
the-
scry
listen.
on the ESP amulet? Let's see where it is.
Sure, yeah. But look, at the end of the day, we know we can trust each other, right?
At the end of the day, I know I can trust two people. You and Tyrael.
Okay. I wander over to like a side table where I've got the crystal ball set up while we're at home, and I'll try and scry on the ESP amulet, which I expect, Neil, I should be very familiar with.
Intimately familiar. You wore.
I wore it for like 9 months,
Yes.
so I should be 100%.
I think that's probably right, but I'm always going to double check it in my DMG if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Personally well known. Yes. Must know the subject to be viewed. The subject can indeed be an item. Knowledge can be from a personal acquaintance, possession of personal belongings, likeness of an object, accumulated blah blah blah. Perfect, yeah. So you can spy on the ESP amulet. This is in the evening. So what you find is a... I was reading about crystal ball spells, and I think this is a great ruling.
Uh-oh.
Tell me the angle that you want. I've kind of just been placing a sensor somewhere, but I think you get to decide where you want the sensor. Do you want it above, on the same level? Do you want it below? Like, give me what sort of relative positioning would you like to be looking at?
Probably want it above and to the back, right?
Like, no, I kind of want to see the face of the person. So, like a third-person view, but from the front. So I'm looking at the face of the person wearing it.
Yeah. So what you find is a young man curled up in a pile of hay in what appears to be a barn or something like that, with a little bit of hay pulled over their head and a hat over that, a bag with some possessions in it tucked away right next to them, sleeping near a donkey.
A barn. Are there any saddles inside of this barn or anything that might bear a standard or tell us what lands they may be in? So maybe something on a saddle, maybe like, do they use a different... No,
this looks like some like random farmer's barn, just like Joe Schmo out in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. It doesn't look like an important building. There's no trappings of flags or sigils. The craftsmanship of the barn isn't particularly good. It's not like particularly well kept up. The the donkey looks a little thin, like it hasn't been fed in a long time. The young man looks dirty and scruffy, like he hasn't seen a bath or like a clean area in a while. Kind of just looks like a random hobo sleeping in a barn.
Can you hear noise through the scrying thing?
No.
You can't hear us? Okay.
I'll poke Emmerich. What about the hat?
Sure. I'll wave my hand over the crystal ball, dismissing it. And I'll try the hat. I'm probably not... Well, I don't know. Maybe I still am personally well known, but I'll just roll.
Yeah, give me a roll.
Yeah,
that's probably fine.
Yeah,
I think so.
Can I a quick out of character question? Our characters would obviously know this and remember this. Did our mom in the very beginning know about our quest? Is this something that we're being a little fuzzy on the details on, or is this something that we're intentionally supposed to notice? Or I'm kind of cheating, I guess, by asking that, but because I'm trying to remember, I feel like in the beginning, I think our mother might have known specifically that we had this quest. I thought.
A lot of people are saying that, yeah.
Yeah. But
I'm cool with swapping it if it's not.
I just don't want to know. I'm just curious if this is like a out of like.
I think this is probably like you guys are doing the scrying on the crystal ball, and Tyrell's like, wait a minute, didn't Mom know about this whole plan?
Okay.
And that, yeah.
Okay.
I do believe there was some level of discussion with her, like she helped you get into the castle, or something like that.
Okay.
What do you
That's
remember?
that's why I was like trying to look through it, I guess.
Yeah, just curious. Okay.
Yeah, what do you remember about all that?
That's been a long time ago.
A long time.
Actually, wait, has
Yeah.
more time passed in real life or in D&D
It's about
life?
the same. It's about the same. About
Probably
a year.
about the same, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anton's
Obviously,
always right, boys.
Our real lives are a lot more exciting, so it's harder for us to remember.
Anyway, you scry upon the hat, and you come back to the exact same scene.
guy.
Same
Checks
dude.
out, right?
Same guy. That's okay. That makes sense.
All right. I wait.
What about her dad?
Do we really want to see this?
Sorry. Yeah. I want to
Okay.
see what he's up to.
What do you mean? Do you really want to see this, Imric?
What if he's wounded or?
He's
It's
not.
better
Our
for us to
dad.
know honestly and earnestly what's happened with our father than to live in ignorance about it. We owe him at least that, no?
Fine. Yeah, you're right.
Maybe we could call Mom down and show her too.
No, we don't. We can leave Mother out of this.
I'll scry on father.
He is personally well known, 100% chance. No need to roll dice here.
It's in a fucking brothel or something.
So, Tyrell, did you bring that up in person? Like, didn't we tell her? Like, doesn't she know?
No, I'm just kind of
character?
keeping it in my brain. Just you planted the seeds of doubt, so Tyrell's just thinking now.
Okay.
Your father is sitting at a table in a small tent. A servant and an officer underneath him, standing before him. He's clearly talking to him about something and pointing down at some parchment on the table. Moves over, grabs out ink and quill, and writes a little scribble on another parchment. Rolls it up, seals it, stamps it, ties it, hands it to the servant, who gives your father a salute and hurries out very quickly.
Can I
the other
perception check
officer,
to see what was written?
No, it's
Too far.
definitely not visible through the thing. The other
Tricky
officer
spot.
pulls up a chair, and the two of them lean in close, seeming to have like a serious conversation, which after 2 minutes or so becomes a little bit more jovial as someone brings out a bottle of brandy and passes a few cups around.
What about the hat of disguise? Am I allowed to scry, or is Nick?
We
the only one?
already did that. It's the same
We
guy.
did. It's on the same guy.
Oh, okay.
In the bar. Yeah.
Fuck that loser piece of shit. We need to find him and kill him. And just kind of
I wave it away.
It's round
No,
mother.
no, of course not. Enough scrying for one night. Why don't we eat and relax? I almost died. So
I think we could safely say that all three of us were knocking on
Sure.
death's door in that
Yeah.
encounter.
Yeah. So let's take a night
Belthara
off.
kept my spear true. That's for sure.
Your sword arm is certainly reliable, or your spear arm. I'm gonna get ready for dinner. I'm gonna get changed.
As he leaves, I'll sit in the rocking chair and say to Tyrael, pretty weird what happened to Uncle Wick, right? I just started thinking about it.
Wait, was his name really John Wick? Wait, what was?
I would say Uncle Wick would be like the dad, and then John Wick is legitimately the son.
Wait, so who's? Okay, wait. So Uncle Wick is the uncle that I spent a lot of time with, right?
No, Uncle Wick would have been the king or whatever.
The queen's husband.
The queen's husband.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And he died.
Yeah.
And the rumor is... Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say the queen has 3 children: Jonathan, Nicholas, and Lysandra.
When
then
our
other
father,
children.
or not father, when our uncle died, when King Wick died, how old was the eldest son? Was he old enough to ascend to the throne immediately, or was there like a queen regent, like?
No, she is the queen.
But I mean, like, is she the?
So she's the queen. He was her husband, so he wasn't king. He was queen's consort or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So the queen's eldest child, Jonathan, would have been in his 30s when his father died.
So why is she the acting ruler right now?
She is the monarch.
Why isn't the son the ruler?
It's
Because-
probably like the UK, right?
Right. It's not a male inherited line.
Gotcha. He is next in line to the throne, though, correct?
Yeah. The queen's eldest child, male or female, is next in line.
Gotcha.
The queen's husband never ruled. He was always just like the husband of the woman in charge of the kingdom. He was the first gentleman.
Okay. Well,
So his death was, insignificant.
I think tomorrow we'll all head on our separate ways. I'll go talk to the family, see if they've made any progress on finding any of the items that we seek. I believe it was a girdle of strength and an amulet of health we were looking for, and then potentially any intelligence items. Anything else? And then you guys are gonna.
I'm gonna study spells, but I've got something I want to do that evening, Neil. Okay, so I'm up late. We've retired to our rooms. And I'm like reading through my spell books, trying to put the final pieces together on the spells that I'm going to learn. And I keep thinking back to this conversation that we've had with our mother, and I feel guilty that we've lied to her. And I think about what I told Anton and Tyrael, that she's not cut out to know the truth. But it's running through my mind, and I'm starting to get worried and emotional. And maybe I don't think I'm an alcoholic anymore, but it's, had a few drinks, been relaxing. And I quietly open my bedroom door and creep out into the hall, and I'm going to walk down to our mother's room and quietly knock on the door.
Give me a perception check as you do all this.
Perception check.
Yeah. Cool. You knock on the door, and there's hold one moment. And then after a few moments, the door opens, and there's your mother in her dressing gown.
Do any of us hear them moving through the house? Are we allowed to roll God tier, nat 20 perception checks on this?
I mean, there's always servants and people bustling around the house. It's late.
Okay.
There's very little reason why you would
Oh my god, there's a good one.
be aware of
No,
this.
that's not a good one. Okay.
Mother, is it okay if we have a word?
Of course, Imric. Come on in.
Thanks. I'm going to sit down on the bed next to her. And I just stay quiet for a moment. I'm just going to, wring my hands a little bit and say, Mother, we weren't quite truthful with you before. There's more to what we've been doing. And I'm scared. We are in danger. I'm not sure we're going to make it. Our aunt, we're gathering power to try and fight Scoria.
Oh my god.
To be the one to kill her. That's our ultimate goal. I
What
had
do you
to tell you,
mean?
I'm sorry. And
What do you
Image
mean?
starts to cry.
She scoots closer and throws an arm gently around you. You're working for my sister, your aunt.
Yeah, we're gathering magical items, trying to gain power, and go and kill her and end the war.
That sounds very dangerous. Who's gonna do the fighting?
We are.
I mean, who's going to be the one to fight the dragon?
We are.
No, that's not what I
We
mean,
are. We
Imric.
are. Tyrael, Anton, and myself, we're going to fight Scoria. That's the goal here. That's what we've
What?
been doing. That's why I've been traveling around.
That's very dangerous.
Listen, I reach into her. I sort of like cry for maybe 20 seconds and hug her. And then I'll reach into my pocket for spell components and I'll cast Forget on her.
You reach into the pocket, she pulled some arms around you, you pull out the spell components. How do you cast Forget without, like, her comforting, interrupting your spell? Out of curiosity. I mean, this should be doable, right? But imagine, a worried mother fawning all over you and you're trying to, like, hold on, let me just make your memories go away.
There is no material component, so it's just verbal and somatic.
Oh, okay.
So it's easy enough done.
That should be pretty easy.
Me. So we're hugging, and I cast the spell. Like, I guess I do the hand symbols behind her back, and then when she when I like release the hug, I'll like wipe a tear away and say, "Yeah, I was really, really taken with the girl. I just wanted to talk to you about it. Thanks for speaking to me."
What, Imric? Why are you? What's going on? I understand you have to keep your secrets, but just... I mean, your mother...
The lady in Outlast. The one with the letter I showed you. I can't stop thinking about it, but my duties keep me away from her. But your advice has been really helpful. It's good to speak again.
She kind of glances over at the letter, which you can see is still folded on her end table. I haven't read it yet. What does it say?
Just nonsense, really. The talk of young hearts. But it's all this time away from home and away from Drakus. It reminds me of when I was younger. When my life was more carefree before I had noble duties.
I know you're the baby of the family, but you are gifted in many ways, and your brothers are going to count on you. Okay? It's your job to keep the other ones safe.
I do my best. Thank you. It's comforting. I've learnt a lot in our travels, and I'm not the naive young man that I once was. There's more to life than drinking and lusting after maidens. To spare you the details.
Those are details I never needed to hear to begin with, although some of them can be smelled upon you, she says.
Well, look, I'm meeting with the wizard tomorrow in the keep, so I should get my sleep, but thanks for talking to me. I'm sorry for waking you up. Read the letter. Read the letter, Mother. I'd like you to.
Is it safe? She says, kind of leaning over to reach for it and examining the letter, concerned it might contain tawdry information.
It's safe, yeah. It's pleasant.
Okay. She picks it up and
I'll
I guess
stand up and give her a hug and walk out. And as I close the door behind me quietly and let out a big sigh and like shake my head to myself and walk back to my room. And now finding it easier to sleep.
What does the letter say?
I mean, I think we've only sent a couple back and forth. It's probably just mild flirting, I guess. I'm not sure what flirting would look like in these times. Probably just, she's probably telling me about parties that she's been to, suitors that she's turned down.
I dream of your ankles at night, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Nice.
Making up stories of noble quests that I've been on, not like stuff we've actually been doing, but, like I went to visit the Prince of Akuba and
what is the name of the young lady?
Yeah, I was
these letters?
hoping that you might have remembered.
I thought you had it. Yeah, there was a name.
I did have a name. I just don't
Just name it
Yeah, I was
Teresa.
hoping you would have it.
Let's just call her Lydia. Wait, is that someone from a different camp? That works, right, Lydia?
People can have the same name in the real world. It's okay.
No, that's true. She's from
Uh,
Outlast.
we're gonna get laid when we kill Scoria.
For sure, yeah.
True.
Cool. Okay. Anyone else have anything that they wanted to do this evening?
Anton will go and visit Tyril's room. Knocks on the door.
What is it?
I wanted to go over some plans about our mission that's coming up in a few weeks.
I get up from my bed and I answer the door. And I let him into my
I'll
room.
Walk in. I was mulling over the amulet. I think Emmeric's already asleep or something. I was mulling over the amulet, and I think I should be able to cast. I should be able to detect who we're going after. I'll speak in vague terms since there's probably servants about. Do you think I should do this now, and then I can start, kind of like maybe geolocating, or like I won't use that term. Maybe like pinpointing where he's gonna be.
If you feel like you can make that,
His routine.
can you distinguish between locations at such a great distance?
I don't know. Maybe if I put like a map on the, maybe if we got a map of the area and I put it on the table, I could maybe somehow work out with what we've already seen, because we know that he flies over the Draken Wastes, so it should be. It's gonna be hard, but we might be able to distinguish something.
How
We're gonna be here for a
fine?
few weeks.
You can tell distance with this amulet, right? Koibu?
Yes.
Or, yeah.
Oh, sorry, you know.
Well, yeah. So like, if something is north of you 10 feet versus 1,000 feet, you would tell the difference, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
it gives like relative location. You know, it's not always exact footage, but you know, in the blah 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 mountains, 100 miles from here, it would be like a nice big round thing. But
Yeah,
if it's,
gotcha.
you know, in the house next door, it would ping back in the house next door.
Got it. So I guess what I'm going to try to do with this is like establish over the next 2 weeks his patterns. So I'm going to be watching
Azeron's
closely.
patterns.
Yeah, so I'm going to be like watching really closely, like at 9 a.m. Is he out further than normal? Because I should be able to establish a home base and a lair, correct?
Yeah, you'll get a. If you keep pinging over and over again, you're going to get like the area where the dragon hangs out in most often.
And then like if I ping it, sometimes I'll see him like maybe over the Draken Waste. So yeah, I'm gonna try to like work out like a pattern. Like on Tuesdays, he flies to the Draken Waste at around this time, and he's gone for X amount of hours. That's like my goal with these 2 weeks. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Let me make notes of this.
Yeah, I don't see a problem. You've described how this amulet works in the past to us, right? Like you making a single
Yeah,
branch.
I have described everything about the amulet.
Yeah, I mean, you can do it,
described
but the only fear is that what if he's outside of our reach for some reason, or if he's left these lands for some reason? You're essentially stuck with an inability to cast the spell again, yeah?
That is correct. If he were to, by miracle, go to his homeland, I would have inability to cast this, but I think it's worth the risk to establish his pattern.
Yeah. I think
He's
it's
been
worth
here
it.
for 400 years, so I can't imagine him leaving.
Okay. And yeah, I don't see a problem with that.
Okay. I will cast. I'll use the amulet to make Azeron the Blue my enemy for taking our spear from us in the Draken Wastes and taking our rope and causing my brothers to cower.
Wait, why do we cower?
Vengeance on
You cowered
Azeroth.
when he flew over.
Oh, never mind. You were talking. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. All right. You can mark Azeron the Blue for vengeance and think about the creature. And sure enough, your thoughts will drift to the Draken Ridge. And you will get a distance reading of about 110 miles in the Draken Ridge. Is the location of Azeron the Blue right now.
Interesting. Because we thought that I believe he was up here. But
No,
at this time of night.
that's the bronze.
Oh,
dragon.
that's the bronze dragon?
Yeah.
This is Azeron, and then in Gold Hill, there's the other dragon. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I go get? Do we have a map? Do I have access to a map in this house?
Yeah, there's a big map of the world of Arcadia on the mantle above the fireplace, framed in glass.
Okay, can I yeah,
We'll bring it down.
I'll grab this map and get like a pen and quill, and then I'll offer it to Anton. We're gonna be in town for a couple weeks. Perhaps you can check your amulet maybe 3 or 4 times a day, and then write in ink, like sun up, maybe SU on the map, and then like sundown, and then high noon, and just write, over the next like 10 or 15 days where he is every day. We see if we can establish a pattern of his movements.
Can we make, I guess in our house, what is like the corner room of the house? Who has the corner room? Because I want to make one of these rooms like our base of operations, because we're going to be here for 2 weeks and we need to talk about sensitive stuff. So I assume the corner room is going to be the most private.
Right, so you have a 3-story house that also has a basement cellar to it. So there are going to be a lot of corner rooms. You can take over a parlor that it sits in a corner, or a library that sits in the corner, and just say this is our place now. I think the parlor would probably be easier. The library people might want to use from time to time.
I'll ask Tyrael, do you think we should take over the parlor, a library, or should we just keep doing this in like your room, for example? I don't want any of the servants finding anything. We know that they have loose lips now.
Yeah, I mean, we could just lock this. We could just do this in your own room, and then put it under your, like, in a locked case on it. I'm sure all of us have locked areas that servants can't get into in our rooms. That would make sense.
Yeah.
Like a safe or a chest or a locked drawer or something.
I can also cast.
Go ahead.
Oh, I can cast. Can't find the spell right now. Create glyph or whatever, and I can make it so it has a keyword to open it. And if someone opens it without using the keyword, it'll blind them, or burst fire on them, or like cause them deafness. Do you want me to do this on your chest, and you can have your own keyword for it?
I'm okay. I don't think I need this for now.
Okay. I will do that on my chest with the map that I'm going to be drawing. The keyword will be poop.
Nice. Hard to forget. Surprisingly
Yes.
good.
And I'll cast blindness on it. So.
Okay, so anyone that does not say poop before opening the chest will have to make a saving throw or be blinded.
Correct.
Excellent. Okay.
All right, the next day.
Yeah.
Neil, this time I'm going to choose a spell as opposed to roll. So does that mean that I can just learn it without having to spend time?
You'll still have to spend some time like coming up with it and copying it into your spell book, but it'll be just a flat choice, no rolls. Don't worry about it. But
Because I also
however many days it takes to copy into your spell book, I think is or that it normally takes to learn. Is it D2 days per spell level?
Yeah.
Yeah. So same
But
time, but
I want to research a spell so as well as this. So I don't know. Hopefully we're not here too long.
Well, talk to me. What do you want to learn?
Stone skin.
Yes, a famous the world over spell.
Yeah.
Okay.
So can I add that in? Do you want me to roll 42?
Yeah, I mean, you're here for a few weeks, but please roll it anyway.
6.
And I think the first day we're going to try to cast Stone Skin on 3 people with our great method that we can do.
Just to test it.
Just to test if it works, yeah.
Cool.
So-
It'll take
so
the rest of the week for him to learn the spell, though, so you can test it a little later.
During these 7 days, I'm going to do as Tyrael said, ping at sunrise, high noon, and then sunset. Can I, at the very end, can you just give me like a general, like maybe?
Absolutely.
And then once at night before we sleep too.
Yeah, so I'll do 4 times a day. And I guess I'm gonna, since Imric's doing his thing, Tyrell's gonna do his thing. I'll research Azure on the Blue with Claridus, see if we can figure out any minions that he has or anything like that. So I'll be making frequent trips to the castle to see Claridus.
Are we worried at all that like we're killing Azron? That's his name, right?
Azeron, yeah.
Azron. Are we worried that like Scoria's movement isn't being inhibited by his existence? That by like killing him, do we open up her ability to move and attack and be more free in huge ways?
Potentially. That might be a question for divination. But yeah, probably.
Or Claridus, we can, yeah.
Probably, but I think the Bronze Dragon's more likely to move in once that happens.
How old is the bronze dragon though?
About the same, I think.
Same
Oh, okay,
range,
okay. So
yeah.
he's not like way weaker. She wouldn't steamroll him.
No,
Okay.
and he's a good dragon. So
That's sick. Okay. Wait, and why can't we we can't communicate with or work with the bronze dragon at all to help us kill Azron?
we can, but it would take XP from us. What we probably should do is see how Nick rolls on his spells.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I've got more spell stuff to do now.
Shouldn't. So we're trying to do this like as the days go. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you a big thing at the end of the.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go visit Claridus, I guess on the second day, if possible. And I'm gonna talk with him. And while I'm there, I'm gonna go visit the dungeon guys that I paid and see if they have anything for us. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep the timeline straight.
Yeah. I'm just making notes on the calendar so I keep the timeline straight.
Oh, we have no more candles of truth, huh?
I have Detect Lie
Oh.
as a spell.
How does that work?
Pretty bomb spell.
If they tell a lie, I'll know, I think. Let me
Gotcha.
read it.
Okay, so Nick, you're spending a week learning Stone Skin essentially.
guess.
Anton, you want to go talk to the guards and Claridus, and Tyrael, you're coming with him on these missions?
No, I'm gonna do other stuff. I need to go communicate with the family people to see what they're doing. And then I think I want to set up a meeting and go chat with the queen real quick if I can.
Great. Well, why don't we take our first break here, and when we come back, we will hit a couple of these things and make some progress.
All right, we will be back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tombs of Scoria. So, we're gonna do three things. Nick's gonna learn spells. Anton is scrying on dragons, and then Anton and Tyrael are talking to the castle.
Wait, hold on. My three things are: I want to talk to Claridus to set up a private meeting in the evening with the queen. The second thing is I want to meet with the family at the bar. And then the third thing is I want us to see if we can cast a scroll through a scrying orb.
Okay. Well, you'll need me for that. We can do that in the evening.
Yeah.
I want to speak to the wizard as well as learn my spells now. Because I assume I'm going to go pick up all the magic items that have probably been identified by now.
Yeah, at the end of your week, that might have been identified. And Anton, you wanted to you were going to ping the dragon, talk to Claridus and the queen as well?
Just talk to Claridus and visit the jailers, who I paid gold to.
Perfect. Okay. Well,
Can you mail international letters in this game? Or in this world? Like, could you mail something to Akuba?
totally. There's not 100% chance that it's going to arrive. And it's probably hella expensive. And during a civil war, you might have a real problem getting it there, but you can try. You might want to send like 10 copies through 10 different messengers to guarantee that one of them gets there. Let's just start with Tyrael, you got three things, so we'll do one of yours and bounce to someone else's, and back to yours and bounce to someone else's, because you got a lot of stuff. So let's start with you, Claridus, and the Queen.
For who's starting? Sorry, say that name again.
Tyrael.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to set up a meeting at night with the queen so I can come in and chat with her.
Sure. It can be done. You can meet with the Queen one evening. We'll call it Thursday the 23rd. Tyrael meets the Queen.
This is the next day, right?
This is like 3 days later.
3 days later, Koibu, you're just bleeding us of time.
Queen is busy, yo.
Okay.
You can't just meet with her whenever you want.
We can still do stuff the prior 3 days, though, right?
Yeah, totes.
Okay. Should I meet with the family and everything first, or you just want to get the queen stuff out of the way first?
You can meet with the family more easily than the Queen, so let's do that first then.
Yeah, okay, let's do that first.
It's the 20th of May. Tyrael and family.
Oh, and then also at the right at the beginning, too, because we might need to make something constructed for this. Can we test out, just real quickly, the scrying and reading a scroll to see if it works?
You want to be able to read a scroll through a crystal ball.
Yes.
And
Okay,
by
so-
read a scroll, you mean read a magical scroll.
Yes, and enact the magical effects.
Cool. That will fail. That will not work.
God damn it.
Okay.
Well, wait, we need to burn a scroll for that.
No, we don't. It's not going to be
No,
used.
because you try to
Doesn't
read the
work.
scroll and it doesn't work. So
Oh, okay, cool.
yeah.
Would we test out your magical +5 sword as well? Or do you?
Oh yeah, at some point I'll probably draw my blade to see how it handles or whatever, I imagine, because it's a
Little
new
spar.
sword.
Yeah, you draw your sword. You fence back and forth with your brother.
Oh, let's test the axe out as well. Okay.
Oh,
so
yeah.
one of these days we go to the garden in the house.
Hold on. We got a whole bunch of shit to do.
Okay, all right.
Try and keep things in some semblance of an order so we're not bouncing around forever, but Tess axe will be added to the list. Let's do family and the bar. That can be done on the 20th of May.
Okay. Wait, so the fencing and everything goes fine? There's not a problem with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, you meet in the depths of one of these back alley taverns, halfway submerged beneath the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Come on in. The family members see you. It's kind of quiet around here. It's just, some of the low-level folks.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of music being played over in the corner by a group of halflings who are all looking a little bit terrified. Your contact and friend is here in the middle of another conversation, but he gives you the, just give me a moment symbol, and makes another symbol to the bartender who comes over and asks you what you want to drink.
I wave him off, and I'm not really interested in drinking. I just want to find a guy to talk to. I know there was a guy that I spoke to a couple times here. I don't know if it's him or somebody else.
Yeah. He brings you a bowl of peanuts and lets you be. And a few minutes later, your contact will arrive. Well, Mr. McGarry, Lord McGarry, I'm so sorry, I don't mean any dishonor here. Brings you to our cozy abode.
We've spoken in the past. I was wondering if we could go to a back room and have another conversation and see if you have any updates for me on the acquisition of any of those objects I asked. See if you could find.
Yeah. He'll pull you over into a corner of this room and say, is this private enough?
Yeah, it's private enough. So how goes it? I believe there were 3 things I had requested. We had a girdle of strength, supposedly, legends tell of a belt. I don't like the look on your face, so I imagine you haven't found that. There was an amulet of health, one that would cause an enduring constitution for a man. And then the third was any type of intelligence items. I have some foolish family members that need to score better on their wizard exams.
Don't we all? So, the intelligence items, we haven't found any of them. Apparently, if you're wearing them, you're smart enough to keep them hidden from other people. Some bullshit like that, right? The Paraffin Amulet of Health and the Girdle of Giant Strength. Now, I mentioned to you before that those are the sorts of things my people prefer to keep a hold of.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a Girdle of Giant Strength floating around my family, Some aunt or uncle's got it right now. They don't seem too keen on parting with it. We made some very gentle overtones. With these people, your overtones become too sincere. They start thinking maybe you have some problem with them. So real gentle, we asked if they would be willing to sell it for something, trade it for something, and my friend got himself a broken nose and a missing tooth for it. So we just let it be.
If I may ask, and I understand that discretion is the utmost important in our industry, what do they use the belt for? Is it just a family heirloom, or do they use this to work? They can't be compensated with any amount of gold. I would obviously pay generously for an item like this, or trade generously for it as well.
Yeah, I don't think any sort of gold is going to do this thing over. If you got the strength of a giant, what do you need money for? You want some money, you just go find a rich person and shake them, and money falls to the ground like leaves off a tree. You want something else? You just go beat the shit out of the person, you get it, right? Girdle of Giant Strength. It's the key to opening many doors.
So it sounds to me as though you think this item is probably a bit out of reach. Obviously, I'm not going to ask you where this person is.
Well,
Wouldn't expect you to tell me.
Everyone's got their price, but I don't know if there's anything that you have that might stoke this person's fire, so to speak.
If there are any fires
Or
to be
their
stoked.
higher ups, that is.
If there are any fires to be stoked, I assure you, I possess the kindling for such a fire. Is it possible to make an
Really?
offer or to get an ask, I guess?
Well, my buddy got himself in a lot of pain over this. I think we could pull one offer. You know, if we come up and say, "Here's a great deal. Maybe you'll trade for this." We might be able to get away with that. But if we come back and back and back, they're going to start to wonder what's up. They're going to start asking questions, getting a little concerned that they might be the target of something. And then we've got intra-family problems. That's always a mess, you know. You don't want like minor wars going on between us. They find out it gets ugly.
Yeah, of course.
So if you've got a real offer, none of this lowballing shit.
Yeah, I understand.
might
This
be
is
able
why
to
I
run a
asked
flagpole.
what that belt was being used for. If they do some type of labor with it, if they try to kill people with it, you know how it goes. You know, the offer that I could make might be something that's more worthwhile in place of the belt. So, for instance, if these guys were, you know, trying to kill people with it, you know, maybe a magical sword and a set of magical chain limbs would be better suited for the job than a girdle of strength. Or maybe they just use it to work, in which case you could send them, you know, 10 or 20 servants to work for them for 2 or 3 years and be commensurate. But it's
I
hard
think it's
to
the
know.
versatility of the strength that's really important here.
There's no chance I could negotiate myself with these people, is there? If you give me who they are or ask them if they'd like to meet somewhere.
Let's just say they live across the River Voden.
Is that Mystria? Across the River Voden? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
It'd be Mystria. In theory, it could also be Matava,
Uh-huh.
but, you know, one of those two places.
Okay, I will consider this. And then what about for the Amulet of Health?
You know, we had an eye on an Amulet of Health. That was before the fall of Eridon. You know, it was one of those things we had thought about. Was within our reach, maybe. Eridon falls, our communication network goes to shit. Can't get in touch with people very often. Some of our folks seem to have been lost during the fall of Eridon. But there might be something out there. I'm still waiting to see if I get letters back. You know, send 3 letters, one of them gets through, they send 1 letter back, it doesn't make it back. It's a huge pain in the ass. Fucking instability worldwide. You know what we need? It's a stable motherfucking world, you know? All the kingdoms just sitting on their own, doing their own things, so we can just grift off the top.
I mean, to be fair, I think that people like us probably thrive off the instability, though, right? It's where the greatest amount of money is to be made.
Yeah, I mean, that's also nice, you know?
All right, well, it sounds to me as though you don't really have an eye on any of these things. You're just looking for a mighty offer then for the belt?
Yeah, I'm doing my best by you, but it's hard these days, especially getting stuff in and out of Eridon. It's there's not a lot left there to meet with.
What do we have for, what's the biggest plus weapon we have? Is it just our +2 sword, +2 trident?
He's not gonna take a plus weapon.
Yeah,
They're
I
gonna
know.
Want,
We don't have any
like-
more, we don't have like a +3 or anything, right?
so no, I mean I have a +3 spear, but
yeah,
the
yeah.
best thing that like we could give him would be like dragon armor or something crazy like that. And that's gonna come. The best thing I think you can do is just find out who it is and we go and kill him and take it.
Yeah, but that's why it would be so stupid if you were a black market person. Like, oh yeah, this person has this, because then people would just run around and kill all your contacts, right? He'd lose all his credibility.
Maybe we could give him an offer he couldn't refuse. Maybe we could pay him rather than the other guy, right?
Yeah, I mean, we could force the info out of them if we wanted to.
Yeah, but I don't want to hurt my relationship with these people, right?
I
Yeah,
do
yeah.
forget, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. Okay, well then I guess I'll say to the guy, perhaps for an offer, for this girdle of strength, if the guy is so inclined, it might possibly be the chance that me and my 2 brothers are going to come into a set of dragon armor, dragon scale armor more specifically, potentially. If you're able to get the measurements off of this guy, and if he's interested, this would be quite the protection afforded to him, maybe more so even than what that belt of strength can confer. Maybe reach out to this guy, find out if it's something he's interested in. This would be a once-in-a-lifetime deal, and yeah, if he is, just let me know. Otherwise, I guess we'll search elsewhere.
Phrasing on this one's got to be careful. You can leave it to me, of course.
Of course.
Don't want to be too direct, but next time I'm in the area, I'll have a chat. Mention we've got some eyes on, dragon scale armor that might be coming by, and see if they bite. If they bite, what sort of, there might be some. I'm gonna try and get them to ask you for the armor, and then make a deal that way. So, are we talking full armor, head to toe? Shields,
probably be as much as any human could wear. I reach into my bag,
full suit, yeah.
and I take out a bag of gold, and I set it on the table. I understand that you guys make a lot of your money working as metalmen here. I don't mean to cut you out in a way that would deprive you of any money. Here's 100 gold. If you can, send this person to my house directly. I'd love to deal with them. Be very interested in negotiating this on my own. You can tell them where I live, or the McGarry household. If they want to come and have a conversation about this, it'd be nice to talk to this guy in person. They're not going to be able
to make it to the city.
No?
That's not, no, that's
they can't send a messenger or anybody on behalf of?
Sure. Well,
somebody that's able to treat on behalf of them.
I'll see what I can do for you.
Okay. I'll slide the 100 gold across as another sign of good faith, because I've given this guy a lot now, okay? If he wants it.
Yeah, he looks at the gold, looks at you and goes, there's no strings attached to this, is there? I'm not going to take this gold and find out that it's magical cursed gold by a wizard.
Of course, I would never give you a cursed item. As for strings attached, the only strings attached are the favors that any man that offers 100 gold to another one would ask for in the future, so we know how this works, of course, right?
All right. Can I interest you in a game of dice? We got some tables set up, maybe games of cards. Your uncle was always a big fan of cards and dice.
He was, but unfortunately I don't have the time to gamble these days. I appreciate the offer, and I'll come back. Or actually, I guess I'll look forward to hearing from you. You can write a letter or send something to our house. And I must be taking off. Yeah.
All right. Have a good day, Mr. McGarry.
Fucking nothing. Piece of shit. All right, I'm good. Also, I don't know if this background music necessarily works.
It's a little
record player.
A little modern. Yeah.
Yeah, with the occasional car in the background.
Yeah.
But
Feels like I'm in Bioshock 1, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let me make some notes, and then we will move on to Anton, who wants to do Clortis or visiting the jail. Yeah.
I feel like visiting the jail is going to be really quick. I'm also going to take 20 platinum with me in a bag, just in case. What's the platinum to gold exchange?
2 to 1?
2 to 1? Okay. I'm going to take 40 then.
Okay, cool. Got it. So, to the jails we go.
Yep.
You can make your way back into the castle, doing all the normal, stuff to get into the castle. Arrive back in the jail. See the 2 jailers. One of them's the same guy from before. One of them is a different guy. The one that you saw last time, the head of the jailers here, sends the other guy off to walk through the, patrol these cells, look for anything suspicious going on. The guy gets sent off on patrol duty, leaving the head of the jailers here with you.
Awesome. You see anything?
No, my lord. I've been keeping a close eye out. Haven't seen anything unusual. Just the usual beggars crying out for mercy, which of course they deserve none.
I'll open the bag of platinum and show him it. You really didn't see anything weird?
My lord, I would have sent a messenger to you post-haste.
I'll give him 1.
Thank you, my lord.
All right.
What should I be keeping my eyes peeled for? Or my ears?
Not sure. Seemed like my brother was expecting something. I don't know. And the lady, you saw her. seemed like she was expecting something too. Keep your eyes
the
out.
Wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Just between you and me, my lord, divine magic is the only one you can truly trust.
I smile and nod. Very true. All right, and I'll head off to see Cletus.
Okay. You can find. You'll have a. You can easily get a meeting with Cletus. He is in his studio, which I don't think have been privy to before, and it's just like desks with piles of books and notes all over the place, and a very separate area for like coffee and tea, nowhere near the books. And he gets up and bows to you hurriedly as you come in, and fumbles over his words. Mr. McGarry, Lord McGarry, Father McGarry. I'm sorry. It's good to see you. What brings you here?
Oh, just for an aside, every time I'm entering the castle, on my spell sheet, I'm going to be casting before I go in there. Fuck, what is it? Oh yeah, this one. Conceal alignment. You know, just as I'm walking past. Just mostly for flavor.
Okay.
Out of paranoia. And yeah, I'll go see Cletus, and then I'll ask him, hey, we're killing Azeron next, yes?
I believe you had mentioned that was a point of interest for you. How may I be of service?
I'm currently tracking him via my amulet, and I will pull out my map that I pulled out from my bookcase earlier in the day, and I had said poop. And I will show him the dots that I've already laid. And so I'm tracking his patterns here. That's not of real importance. What's of really importance is I need to know when the feast is that the halflings have, and if you've seen any minions that Azeron has, or what he has in his retainer.
Oh, I do believe you told me something about a halfling's feast for Azeron before. I don't know when that is, though.
Okay.
There's very little information about the Riverlands. There's not much happening over there. No one bothers to pay attention to the wee folk of the world.
Well, there's a lot happening. There's a dragon who lords over them, and also a vampire. Maybe we should pay more attention.
You're absolutely right, Lord McGarry. We haven't been paying attention, and that's why those things are there. I'm so sorry.
I'll nod.
The dragon, though, the Draken Ridge is home to various monsters. I don't know which of them Azeron would be working with exactly, since Azeron tends to keep to himself, mostly bothering the deserts, rarely coming into the territory that we've controlled. But there are giants in the mountains, stone giants, blend in with the rock. Can't necessarily see them sort of look like part of the mountain until they move. If you're clever and you know what you're looking for, sometimes you can see them ahead of time. Known to, like all giants, love hurling rocks at people, and I think with the mountains, I think I remember something about stone giants and avalanches, or what do you call them? Landslides. Avalanches in the snow, landslides in the earth. But I don't know if they're... He starts flipping through a book looking for a specific entry.
I'll stop him. We shouldn't have to worry about that. We're going to be teleporting into Azeron's base, so I don't think we'll need to worry about any giants or anything. Yeah.
You found the entrance to his lair?
We have our ways. I'll nod. Whatever you know about dragons, are they in their hordes? I would assume they don't keep monsters and stuff, right? They'd be too paranoid someone's going to steal from them.
Oh, they usually do have minions. The bigger, more settled dragons, certainly. Almost always have guardians for their lairs.
For the outside or the inside as well?
I couldn't say for certain about where that stops. But well-established dragons have many minions that work under them. I would expect the outside to have, at least have scouts or spies or people who would make noise if enemies come near.
But in his treasure room.
In the treasure room itself, There's probably very little in the way of minions.
And he probably sleeps alone in his treasure room, yes? But I would assume atop a bed of gold. I don't know much about dragons, but I don't know if you've heard me before.
I try not to make assumptions, Lord McGarry. I'm a scholar. I avoid assumptions wherever possible.
Does he have a book of dragons out right now?
No, he's got a book on the flora and fauna of Arcadia, but he can find a book of dragons for you if you'd like.
Yeah, if he pulls out a dragon book, I'm gonna borrow it, quote unquote.
I can't in good faith let that book leave this room, my lord. It's one of a kind, and if it leaves, I just, through no fault of your own, I know I'll never get it back.
I'll pat him on the shoulder. I'll bring it back to you tomorrow. I just need to read through it. Or if you'd like, I can stay in here and read through it all day here.
I'll have a servant bring you a comfortable chair and whatever beverages you would like.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, and he will provide you with some books and scrawling notes on dragons. It'll give, first-hand accounts. It's like a collection of first-hand accounts of dragon interactions from people. Some of them about Azeron, some from other blue dragons, other areas. It'll talk about lair types, locations where these dragons are often found, usually in mountains or deserts. Often dry places are where the blues prefer to dwell. High tops where they can survey their areas, their their territories. Yeah. What in particular are you looking for?
First-hand accounts of someone who has been in a dragon's horde. Maybe a legend of someone who slayed a dragon. Are there any? Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's definitely first-hand accounts of people who have entered dragons' lairs. These are some of the more famous legends. So it appears that, each dragon's lair is a little bit different, but for the, adult dragons that we're talking about here, their lairs tend to be fairly complicated endeavors with multiple chambers, passages between them. The one account that you're reading about here has to do with this is a famous story of a single knight who went to go slay a dragon because it had burned his, riverside village. And after venturing for many years and getting himself to a place where he was finally ready to face down the dragon, he goes into the lair. There's a pair of monsters outside that he fights. I think it's like a group of ogres that he slays. And then deeper in the lair, there's a trap where he walks past an area and the wall explodes outward, sending shrapnel, but he keeps his shield in between.
What type of dragon was this?
This is a blue dragon lair story that we're reading. So, the wall bursts open, shrapnel flies everywhere. The knight manages to make it through. Stalactites fall from the ceiling onto him. There appears to be some sort of ooze monster on the ground that he fights. There's like a series of different creatures in the lair that he goes through. Then there's multiple passageways that get confused. One of them seems to be looping back on itself over and over again, but he prays for divine guidance. All these stories have like the gods intervening to help the heroes, of course. And like the divine guidance shows him that in reality it was an illusionary wall that he had to pass through to get to the true dragon's lair. And, an epic battle occurs with, the dragon breath weapon hitting the shield and ricocheting off and striking the dragon. And you're kind of like, okay, this is maybe getting a little like fanciful and embellished after 700 years or whatnot. But apparently he fights and slays the dragon and is able to gather the treasure, which he distributes back to the villages along the river that he lived. And, everyone lives happily ever after, and the man slew the dragon. But it specifically does call out some monsters in the lair, traps built within the walls, illusionary walls themselves.
But it sounds like there's like monsters and traps leading up to where the dragon sleeps. But where the dragon sleeps, from what the book says, and sounds like, it seems like that's like unmolested by other people.
Right.
Which would make sense. Yeah.
This account, the actual lair itself is fine.
And like, so I'll read through like 3 or 4 accounts. In any of these, when they eventually fight the dragon in the treasure room, are they fighting multiple things, or is it just the dragon itself?
There is an account where the dragon has minions with it in the lair, but
this was
based on
type of dragon.
This is another blue. There are 4 stories that Clurtis has acquired of people investigating blue dragon lairs.
Cool.
These are the ones that survived. One of them has warriors, minions of the dragon in the lair. The other 3 don't. 2 of the 4 are adults, and the other 2 are young-ish dragons.
And the one who was
recently
an
out on the run.
adult had minions or no?
One that was an adult had minions. One that was an adult did not have minions in the lair.
Okay. I'm happy enough. I hand Cletus' book back. Thank him for his time, and I'll leave.
Yeah. I think the only other things that you might want to know from this is that blue dragons tend to be solitary. When they are found in groups, it's a mated pair, and the male tends to be the one going around dealing with shit, while the female is like the permanent lair guard for the young who are being raised.
Yeah.
And that the female will usually, in this situation, like, not engage. If there is a threat on the outside, she will just chill until, she absolutely must engage. So they usually don't even work together when they're mated.
Are there any legendary warriors who've slain dragons in Drekis right now?
There's a rumor that a barkeep over in what the fuck you call it, Berkshire, has claimed to slay many dragons, but it's one of these like tall tales that everyone rolls their eyes at and no one actually believes.
Okay. But no, yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
Okay. Let's flip over to Nick. It's been a hot minute since you've said anything.
So I've spent 6 days studying stone skin, and I finally have my breakthrough. And I figure that the wizards had enough time to identify the items now, so getting some rest the next morning, I'll get ready and head out of the house. Still wearing my old robes, and I will head to the keep, get to the guards there, ask to speak to Arksomba.
You can go ahead and meet Arksomber.
All right, so I go up to... Is he in a tower? She in a tower?
She does have a corner tower in the castle. Yes.
All right, so I go to the entrance door and I'll knock on.
She is expecting you, and the door sort of quietly opens.
Greetings, Arksomba. Thank you for meeting with me.
She is standing in the middle of the room. There are like carvings in the ground that looks to you like some sort of magic circle that she's standing within that comes up almost all the way to the door, but not quite all the way to the door. Then behind all of this, there's a couple of comfy chairs and some bookshelves and some end tables and like some setups to make tea and some dirty dishes. And then there's a staircase in the back that goes up and down as well, just to set the scene.
Is it all right if I come in?
Please enter. She will wave you in past the magic circle and towards one of the comfortable chairs.
Does she walk around the magic circle? Or?
She stands inside of it until you are seated and then walks through it.
Okay, I will like walk around it.
And
I sit down. Do I see any of the items that we gave her around?
You do indeed. They are all seemingly gathered together, wrapped up in a piece of vellum. Not vellum, what do you call it? Canvas on a table.
Can we say which items we gave her? Did we give them all, even the +5 sword, or did we keep on to that?
It's a great question.
These are the items that were being identified?
Yeah, we should probably give her everything.
We'd give her everything, yeah. Why would we keep something?
Okay, well, I'm just saying because we sparred with the +5 sword, so...
Yeah, but she might have only gathered the items on the day that she was going to cast Identify.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, I assume you've identified these.
I have indeed. It has exhausted me, but it has been done.
We thank you.
She doesn't quite move to hand them over to you yet. She remains sort of seated in one of these comfy chairs. The items beside her.
Sure.
So she's sitting between you and the items. You're both in comfy chairs, though.
I'll lean forward. May I? I go to stand up.
Of course. These are yours. And she goes to stand up and walks over to the canvas and kind of unwraps one side, revealing half of the items, and sort of pauses and regards you carefully. I am beginning to feel a little uncomfortable, Lord
What do you
McGarry.
mean?
What I mean is that your mission has begun to return real results.
Indeed. It was a great task that we found ourselves in when we recovered these.
Yes, and I believe you have the best intent for the kingdom, but I fear you might not have the resources you need.
What do you mean?
I mean that the Queen has told me a little of your missions, that you've mostly been independent, working with, she says with disdain in her voice, Clertis the Scholar, to decide
is
your
a good
next
man.
course of action. A good man, but not a smart man.
Perhaps
He
not
makes his
compared to
progress
us.
through hard work. Yes. I feel that you need some proper guidance when it comes to the upper reaches of magic that maybe you have not been given. And I would
Alexander,
like
I,
to offer help.
I would very much like that. I was hoping that we could become closer friends. I've been wanting to do some spell research and looking around at the books you have here. Perhaps you'd be able to help me with that as well.
Yes. Yes, I think the two of us should work more closely together, especially now, and her hand reaches over to the scabbard of the +5 sword, now that we are dealing with terrifying levels of power. Do you know where this sword comes from?
I've heard rumors that it belonged to a sheriff in a town called Shirebrook, a man called Tyrus Bellis. But it was
And
stolen
before
from him.
that?
Before that, I don't know. That's the furthest back I've heard of it. Do you know more?
There are old writings of a weapon with a very similar name to this, the Sword of Moons, that is thousands of years old. I cannot confirm if they are indeed the same weapon with a altered name over time, or one of the many coincidental namings that happens. Knowing the history of an item is important to using it. If a former owner comes by, they may, or is still around, they may come looking for it. Are you familiar with how to use a crystal ball?
I have one, in fact. Yes,
And you've used it.
I have. Frequently.
Well, you'll see that something you are clearly familiar with is easy to find. The owner of this sword, if a previous owner of the sword is still living and looking for it, it would be easy for them to locate it. I don't know where it has been with this Tyrus person, who seems to be gone now, but unless they were protected from scrying, then this should not be an issue for us.
I think that I heard that Tyrus himself was from Solemn, so perhaps the sword's previous owner, if they're not already dead, should be a long way from here.
Hopefully.
And a sword like this tends to be in the possession of a warrior more than a wizard.
Tends to, yes. But a sword like this could be wielded by a wizard with great ease.
Yeah, well, perhaps Lord Georg should have tried a more magical approach rather than trying to wield a sword. Maybe he'd still be alive.
Anywho, she will... Go ahead.
Is it as powerful as they say?
Well, there's a reason I was looking into its history, and it seems to look like something thousands of years old. It is the single strongest magical weapon I have ever come across in my many, many years of research and study. And I am concerned about its future. I know the three of you travel far and wide, and if you die in enemy lands, this may become a tool of the enemy. And I know I will be met with great resistance when I say this, but I beg you to listen to me. Do not take this into the lands of Mystria or Matava. Leave it behind if you travel there.
I don't know how much you know of our mission, but our eventual goal will take us behind enemy lines.
And for that eventual goal, that makes a great amount of sense. But in the meantime, if you shall stumble or fail, and our enemy gets their hands upon this, it could be devastating.
Well, I consider your words carefully, Oxamba, but I'm afraid this sword belongs to my older brother, and it'll be his decision. I will caution him as you have me, but I can make no promises for his actions.
Of course. But he relies on you for knowledge, for guidance.
Yeah.
Do what you can to make sure this does not fall into the hands of our enemy.
Of course.
Go
ahead.
There are specific warriors among the Mystrian army that stand out. Mystrian irregulars, we've been calling them. Individuals who can take on entire regiments or divisions by themselves. We don't want them gaining anything else. You were going to say something, though, before I interrupted.
Besides being a very powerful magical weapon, does the sword have any additional properties?
I don't think so.
On that point,
there is a lot of magic here, and it can be hard to read.
I'll reach into my bag and pull out the small bag of luck stones that I've got. Perhaps I should have given these to you earlier, but I believe that one of these, used in conjunction with an identify spell, could discern the full properties of any singular magic item. Now, I have a limited use of these, but perhaps on the more powerful items here, one could be spent.
She regards the luck stones with keen eyes and great interest. Yes. These would be of great use to me.
Like I said, I've been keeping them in reserve in case, for moments like this, a sword like this, I don't know, but it's possible it could have additional properties, right?
It certainly is.
Well, fuck it, use one.
Yeah. So I'll slide. I guess I think there's 5, I'll slide one towards her and take the other 4 and say, if you want to keep hold of the sword for now, perhaps see if you can divine any additional information.
I shall. And she will pluck the stone from your hand and carefully set it in a little saucer on the table.
What else do we have here? His robes?
As she explains to you the deep pocket robes, how they work, how they function, how it's a manipulation or a permanent effect of the deep pocket spell.
And display self.
Yes.
Okay, so we don't have to go through this for every item. The one thing that I don't know what it does already is the cephalopod amulet, if that is even magical.
That's what I was up. The cephalopod amulet. I have no memory of this thing. It's just on a sheet.
Listen, Neil, I don't have an amulet, right? So why don't we just roll on the fucking table and see what we get? Come on, do it.
Absolutely base.
I think it's non-magical, honestly.
Yeah, that's unfun. Roll on the table.
Why? Okay, why would he have an amulet in that shape that's not magical? It makes no sense.
Why would he write down an amulet that is magical without describing it? Every magic item on this sheet is well documented.
I really like that. If it's a non-magical amulet, it should be quite expensive. I get more rogue experience then, since it's not a magical item. How much is this worth? I'm just kidding.
Okay, so it's not magical?
I'm gonna double check on this, but
Why don't you just roll on the table and you can beat it if it's too strong. So chat is saying, which I think is correct, it came from the Chimera cave. Do you remember when Tyrus, Georg, and Malachi went to that cave and looted the Chimera lair? And I took the mithril chain shirt, Georg took this amulet, and he never had any time to identify it because we were so...
Is that really how that went down? You guys just adventured with an unknown amulet for like 20 sessions?
Roll on the
he's got-
table, baby.
He's got no use for it, right? I mean, he had his own amulet.
Yeah, the best amulet in the
Giving it
game.
away.
He didn't have a chance. He was...
Yeah, 20 episodes, he
How
didn't
much
have a
time passed
chance.
between the Chimera and the end?
Not that much.
Oh my god, it's our Amulet of Health, maybe.
He's about
Oh,
to
yeah.
roll, and we're gonna get a good item, boys.
An Amulet of +4 int.
Damn.
Amulet of Giant Strike.
Perfect.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna look and see if there's already a cephalopod amulet in my books that I was just like outright stealing.
Okay.
What if it's an Amulet of Molding? You lose your hair the longer you
I'd
wear
hit.
it.
Maybe you should let me look into this during one of these breaks, so I'm not just paging.
Yeah,
through
yeah,
books
that's
for
fine.
half
Okay,
an
so
hour.
I take the rest of the stuff.
Wait, did anything come up on the daggers?
Yep, they're both magic daggers, +1.
Okay.
Okay. I want to now ask about, so I'll say, thanks for identifying all these items, and I'll come back for the sword perhaps in another week.
Yes, thank you. There was a Red Shield's ring is +2, ring of protection, by the way.
Yeah, I'll put that on. Yeah, I already knew that. And I'll guess while I'm here, I will change my robes out and start. I already did it on my character sheet, but I'll start moving, like basically empty out my backpack, get everything into the robes. So no, I'm not
Excellent.
carrying a backpack anymore.
You changed in front of her?
I'll probably go into another room or something if she'll accommodate that.
I mean, she'll. Sure.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, it's a wizard's tower. No, she's not actually going to leave you alone anywhere. You do
Okay,
have to
fine.
change
I'll do it in
of her.
front of it. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Imric's not
Wizards are
ashamed.
above and beyond nudity. No one cares.
Yeah. I've recently made a breakthrough and have learned my first spell of the fourth circle. I was hoping to acquire a few more, if you would share, or perhaps know anyone in town where I could purchase such information.
Fourth circle spells?
I nod.
Yes. We have great volumes of them around. And for your mission, you will need a great many spells. Are you familiar with any of them in the fourth circle? And
Just one for now.
While
Stone
she's
skin.
talking to you, she goes over and pulls a tome off the table, or off a shelf, and sets it down before you.
May I?
Please.
I look through. Now, the two that I want to learn now are Polymorph Self and Project Self. If they're there.
Yeah. Give me a moment. Um.
Nick,
Right,
we
so
need to go
she
learn both of them.
She produces a book that just discusses various spell effects that have been seen around. It's got various, writings from different hands and large sections, like big chunks of pages that are completely blank because things are sort of put in like a rough alphabetical order across this whole book. Some areas the spells have the descriptions have been like tightened or even written on another page with an arrow leading back, so it's a little janky to use. But it lists, third and fourth level spells.
Okay. So this isn't to learn the spell, this is just a description of what exists.
Yeah, this is lists of existing spells that you might want to look through to see what sorts of things you need.
Yeah, so I'll read through and I'll say my issue is being new to this circle. I will only be able to cast one per day, and Stone Skin makes for a fantastic traveling spell, the one I'll have most of the time. So I was looking for more for things that could provide benefit in specific circumstances. Maybe this, I say, pointing to project self, and the same with polymorph self.
She takes a look at project self. This is good. Yes. Not just how useful it would be for fighting a dragon. She looks over at polymorph self and shakes her head back and forth and says, let's talk about dragon slaying. That's your ultimate goal, right?
Correct.
As I understand it, there is finding the dragon, getting to the dragon,
Correct.
slaying the dragon. And each of
Yes.
these three things requires different tools. Are you certain that you have the first two bases covered well enough that you can be focused on the slaying aspect? It does you no
Well-
good to slay a dragon if you cannot even reach its lair.
Perhaps polymorph self could help in this way. Take the form of a winged creature and fly my companions up to the top of the cliff, for example. And project self. Some of the dragons on our list are, whilst in possession of great magic, are maybe more friendly than others. But risking a discussion with them would take time and be dangerous if things were to go awry. Whereas project self here would allow me to hold such discussions without any risk to ourselves or our own timeline.
Yes. I think Project Self is a fantastic spell for your purposes. Undoubtedly, you will run into situations where you wish to lure enemies away, where you wish to speak to people from a distance of safety. I think for the cunning wizard who seeks to defeat his enemies with his mind, Project Self is perfect. She looks back at Stoneskin, flips pages to Stoneskin, and shakes her head at it. This one, famous, popular, and that is the problem. Anyone worth their salt, any wizard worth their salt, is familiar with a Stoneskin spell and the form that it takes, and someone walking around with Stoneskin cast upon them will spread, and it will be noticed from greater distances than they would like.
Perhaps, but on
It's,
the day of the battle, I'm not sure how sturdy you are, but if a dragon tries to bite my head off, a spell like that
On
could
the-
save a life.
Of course. But some folks in the past have traveled with Stoneskin cast upon them on ordinary days, and it is a beacon to all that you are one with... how do the kids say? One with which to fuck these days?
One with someone not to fuck with, I'd imagine, but depends on
Quite
how
the
confident
opposite.
you are.
I mean, certainly some people will be kept away, but those that you actually worry about will now know that you are someone who has things they want, or someone they should be aware of. A wizard's greatest strength is their secrecy,
Your counsel
not
is
projecting their power. Let an enemy think you are weak, and they will ignore you. Show them that you are strong, and they will plan to defeat you. Keep your
Wise.
profile low, dear wizard.
This
Anyway.
one's already in the spellbook. Yeah.
Project Self would be great. Wonderful spell.
How about polymorph? Do you have access to that?
Yes.
You seem unsure. Is this not a spell of great power and usefulness? Applicable in many different situations?
Yes.
Scouting, for fooling, for accessing hidden places,
Yes.
traveling quickly.
Yes. Polymorph Self is wonderful and powerful. I can find a copy of it for you.
Thank you.
Is there anything else?
No, if you can help me with that, I thank you for your identifying the items. I hope that the Luckstone proves fruitful. I'll check back in a week. And can you have, if you do find copies of the spells, could you have them sent to my house?
Polymorph Self and Project Self to the McGarrys.
For now, yes. I can't spend too much time in town studying, but in the future, I'll consult with you again and expand my repertoire.
I will deliver the spells to you when they are pulled from their books.
Thank you, Oxumber. I stretch a hand to shake her hand.
She carefully regards you, shakes your hand, and lets you go.
Smooth move,
Dismisses
kiss
you.
her hand.
No. It's been good to get to know you better, and I'll turn and walk out. And Neil, while I'm in the keep, I want to take a little walk over to the dungeons. Wearing my new robes.
Sure. You'll, get stopped down at the dungeons. Guards see who you are. Head jailer lets you in. Looks to you and goes, Lord McGarry, I've spoken to your brother recently. Everything
You
seems
have?
fine.
Everything's fine? Good. I would like to take a look myself. No offense to you, but the eyes of a wizard may see something that the eyes of a god may not.
Certainly, my lord. Just keep your ankles out of reach of the cells. They tend to bite.
Okay. Could I borrow a torch?
He will hand you a lantern. Even better.
Magic lantern?
Just a regular lantern.
I will head down into the down the stone stairs, my footsteps echoing, torchlight flickering, and make my way to the cell of the guy that I spoke to earlier.
Yep. There he is. You shine the light into his face, and he tries to block out most of it so he can, isn't totally blinded, and whispers back to you, "You've come back for me."
Okay, this is your last chance. I can get you out of here today, right now.
Get me out of here.
You gotta tell me what you know first.
Get me out first, and I'll tell you everything. I'll even take you there.
I haven't got time to go there now. But I would
Get
like
me
you
out
to
and
take
hide me in your house. Take me when you're ready. I'll be your ever faithful servant.
They'll know you're missing.
You're a great wizard. I'm sure you can figure it out.
I consider him.
Replace me with a peasant or a beggar on the streets. They'll never know the difference.
I can't do that. To an innocent man.
How many beggars are truly innocent men?
I give him some more food. If you won't talk, it's too much of a risk for me right now. I'll think on it. If you would tell me the story now, I can get you out, but otherwise you'll have to wait until I'm back in town.
I trusted the word of a lord once before, and look where it got me. I won't tell you anything unless I'm freed.
All right. I'm intrigued. So I open my robe and I reach in and I muddle around and I draw my hand back out and touch him on the shoulder and reduce him.
He will shrink 70% of his size, small enough to walk through the bars.
I will pick him up and hold him sort of within my robes. Will he fit in one of the larger pockets?
I'm just doing some quick math on that right now, actually. So he's 20 inches tall, so that is almost 2 feet in size. He'll fit in one of the, I think your robes have 10 big pockets and 100 small pockets, right? So
Yep.
he'll fit in one of the big pockets.
All right, I put him in and I'll leave.
All right. You walk on out of the castle, man in tow.
All right, go back to my house.
Excellent. And we will go over to Tyrael for just a moment, leaving you in suspense.
Can I mini retcon conversation? Not retcon, but I had one more question for the thief guy that I forgot to ask the family guy.
Yeah.
I would have asked him while I was there. Let's say that he needed to move a huge amount of shit. Let's say that you broke into a royal vault's worth of stuff and you needed a way to transport stuff from long distances out of this vault. Certainly they've done stuff like this before. What would their way of doing that be?
Well, we don't often get a chance to make a haul that size. Take some careful preparation set up in advance. Most straightforward way is you get every friend you know with the bag of holding, cut them all in for 10%, and,
Yeah, of course.
shove them in extra dimensional space.
Assuming it was as easy as that, I wouldn't be asking you, though. Assume that the terrain is treacherous, the distance is long, the treasure is great. I need something a bit more than a plethora of bags of holding.
It's going to sound a little dumb, but trust me on this one. You get one bag of holding, right? Can't carry everything, but carries enough. You haul that shit out to an undisclosed location, sort of nearby, but like not too far away. You dig a hole, you bury it. You pull the old pirate trick. You bury the treasure in one spot. You go back, you grab the next haul of it, you bury it in a different spot pretty far away. You repeat over and over again until you've buried the treasure nearby. That way, you can get everything out quickly. You might need multiple teams to dig multiple holes. That way you can just run back and forth and dump the treasure. And then you can take your time to retrieve it in an orderly manner, nice and safe. Takes a while, but it does the job right. Burying treasure is a great way to keep other people's eyes off of it. Hard to find treasure. Someone wants to scry on something that they used to own? Boom. Underground. Can't tell where it is when it's underground because it's just underground. No way to find it. Bury that shit nice and deep. Come back for it, couple months, totally fine.
Okay.
Maybe
gotcha.
a year if you really got to hold on to it for a long time.
All right, okay. There's that, and then one other question is: our friends were moving outside of the that moon, the candle place. Did we have a way? Did we set up a way to contact them, where we said we'd meet them at a bar outside of town, or?
Yeah, I think you guys said on like the every full moon you'd meet at a bar outside the front gates of the castle.
Okay, is there a way that I can leave a note there or something in case? I imagine they'll frequent the bar or something. Can I leave a note there?
You have a description of the people. You could give it to the bartender and say, if you see a person matching this description, hand them this letter, and then give them some gold.
Yeah, and then the letter would just say, come to the McGarry household immediately if possible. I want to have a conversation with you. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, cool. All right. Okay, cool. I just want to take care of that.
You had also wanted to go talk to Clertis and the Queen.
Yeah, or I wanted to talk with Clertis about setting up a one-on-one conversation with the Queen.
Sure. You can head to the capital, find Clertis, chat with him. If all you want to do is set up a thing with the Queen, then we've already got it on the calendar for a Wednesday, so that's fine.
Then I'll...
Yep.
Okay.
So it's just you wanting to meet with the Queen separate from your brothers. Okay. You can make this meeting. It'll be late in the evening one night. It's just you, the Queen, 2 of her bodyguards, and Clertis here?
Okay.
No? Yes.
I don't want anybody there. I just want to talk to the Queen. I just want to show my love.
Okay, well then it's just going to be her and 2 of her bodyguards then. No Clertis.
She needs the bodyguards to have the conversation?
Of course she does.
With my lovely
She does not go
aunt?
anywhere without them.
Because she's fucking evil, Steve.
She never goes anywhere without
That's
them.
fine. These 2 must be like 2 of the most trusted fucking men in the kingdom. These aren't just like normal shitter line level guards or whatever, right?
No, yeah, these are the guards that I would actually haven't made out their stat blocks yet, but like they're decked head to toe in magic gear. They're all like level 10 warriors working for the kingdom for their whole lives. You know, the Queen trusts them with her life every day. So
Okay. Before I leave to go to the Queen, I'd like to go knock on I'd like to go knock on Anton's door.
Hey, come visit the Prince of Darkness, yeah. I'll answer the door. Uriel.
Anton.
What's up?
I'm gonna take off to have a conversation. I produce an envelope from my cloak and I give it to him. If I don't return by, what is like the weather outside? Is it like what time of the day are we right now?
the meeting's at night, so right now it would be dark.
Okay, gotcha. Is there like a midnight or high point of the moon or something that people would use to identify like the middle point of the night or something?
High point of the moon only works on new
Certain
moon
days,
nights.
yeah.
Yeah, there's not really like a easy way of telling when the exact middle of the night happens without proper clocks.
Gotcha. Okay, I understand. All right, I'll give him an envelope and I'll say, Take this. For whatever reason, I'm not back by sunrise. You need to get this envelope to the monks that we'd met in Akuba.
I'll nod. What are you planning on doing?
I just need to have a conversation to settle my mind. I think you've poisoned me with a little bit of your, we'll say, curiosity for now.
Huh. You sure you don't want me to divine something before you go?
No,
Maybe
I don't think
can
it'll.
see the course of action.
I don't think it'll come to that. I think it should be fine. I'm pretty sure that we've just spent way too much time in other lands, and I think it's doing strange things to our thoughts. But yeah, I'm sure that this won't be anything, and I'll be back shortly.
I'll keep it closed until you're back.
Okay.
I cast, I think it's Blessed Watchfulness. I wouldn't have that spell. Never mind. I don't cast that.
Okay.
After he leaves, I will divine. Is Tyrael going to be okay today? I'll roll my D100 plus 70 or plus 15 per whatever. It would hit.
The spell is just divination, right?
Just divination, yeah. But I casted the 50%.
Is Tyrael gonna be okay?
Well, if this comes back as a yes, I'm killing everybody.
Oh, you can tell me in private then.
Tell you what, that I'm killing
Probably.
everybody?
Well, you should probably tell me if you're gonna be okay in private, so like it doesn't affect your shit, right?
Wait,
That
what?
makes sense.
So
Because
that,
Tyrael wouldn't know the result of this divination.
Yeah, because if he says like, no, you're not gonna be okay.
oh, you're saying you're
might-
telling Koibu to tell you in private?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Okay, I don't know.
I would probably do this honestly, like 30 minutes after he left, like sitting there looking at the note, like, huh, that's kind of odd. And then I'd think for a little bit, and then I'd be like, let me just check.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay, Tyrael.
Okay, cool. Can I have a conversation? So I'm in a room with the
Yeah.
queen and her two guards.
Yep.
Okay.
Tyrael, nephew of mine, what brings you to me so late at night?
Hello.
And
There's
what
nothing
else
else
you want-
we need to take care of first, right? This is good?
Don't know, have you written your will?
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it might be nice to have a copy of the letter that you handed to him.
I've written it out to him. Should I give it to you?
If you have it written down and sent to him already, that's fine.
I did not get anything sent.
Well, I have it written, because he hasn't opened it yet, but I've written the message to him in the
yeah.
DM. Yeah.
Correct.
Oh, sure. Send me a quick copy of it so I can, know what's up as well, if you don't mind.
The God, no.
Okay.
No, Anton won't open the letter. 'Cause,
Okay.
Well,
I'm sending this to you. Hold on. Okay, I'm sending you this letter right here. Okay, those are the words in the letter, okay? It hasn't been sent to anybody or anything like that, okay, Koibu? So don't go crazy.
Right.
All right?
yeah, totes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Okay. I tell my brother if I'm not back by morning that you and Imric need to leave the city at once. Probably leave Drekus. You need to get this letter to the Akubans, the monks. Okay, true?
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Anton realizes and
Yeah, that's what
nods
we're
his head
doing.
and takes his brother's word. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm having the okay, now I'm having the conversation with the queen. We're chatting, we're chilling. Everybody's cool.
Yeah, queen and her two guards. Mm-hmm.
My wonderful aunt, what's her name? What is her first name again? Queen
Valuria.
Valoria. My wonderful Aunt Valoria. I trust that anything I say to you will be kept in confidence. No one will know save for the four of us in this room. Yeah?
Sure.
Now, as I'm sure you've known through our ups and downs, me and my two brothers have spent a great many nights outside of this kingdom. Sometimes in the presence of vampires, sometimes behind enemy lines, apparently now even sometimes in the depths of a hellish demon-infested city. And if I'm to be completely honest with you, I think it's starting to take a toll on us, both emotionally and psychologically. And it's caused a lot of crazy thoughts to spin around in our minds.
She reaches a hand out and rests it on your hand and like pats it reassuringly. These tasks you've been assigned to do are hard and difficult. They tax the body, mind, and soul. You are brave for coming so far.
Thank you, and I appreciate your kind words. Now, I'm sure, especially with you being the queen, you must know that there is always the struggle of keeping your country first over your family first over your country. I want to ensure you, me and my brothers, at all points in time have tried to act in the noblest ways possible, not only to ensure our own safety, but the safety of this kingdom. Now, I know we've ran into issues in the past where you felt as though we were being reckless. I hope that you indeed trust that we've had the best interests of both you and this kingdom held in our highest regards at all points in time.
That is the reason I came to the McGarrys. You are the one family that I know I can trust beyond doubt.
I nod my head, and the only reason I'm having this conversation with you is because I trust you as well. And I believe that it's important that all of us will trust all of us in order to ensure that this mission goes off as smoothly as possible. Now, while I trust you, and while I understand that even if we're not highest ranking of family, that this type of trust between nobility is important, I'm sure you also know I spent a great deal of time with my uncle. I've seen a great many troubling things in my life. So as my uncle would always say, trust but verify. I'm asking you if it's possible that we could have a short conversation, or I could ask you a couple questions, and you could ask me a couple questions if you want, under the influence of a candle of truth. I believe it would quell a great many uneasy feelings that I'm having relating to our mission, and I think it would help all of us moving forward to make sure that we are doing everything that we can to keep the safety of this kingdom highest of regards.
A candle of truth?
I nod.
You worry that I may lie to you?
It's not so much that I worry that you may lie. I just want to say that it would do a great service to my consciousness. And in turn, of course, if you have any burning questions for me, or if you feel like we haven't been as forthcoming about something, I will, of course, answer any questions of you. I understand that this is quite the imposition that I place on you, and can definitely see how you may feel slighted or insulted by this, but I implore you to understand that we've spent so much time in realms and worlds that are unbelievable to most that I think it calls upon us to ensure that our mission remains steadfast and noble. If we could have this conversation.
I'm sure you understand a woman in my position does not subject herself to magic willy-nilly. If you wish to have this conversation under the effects of a candle of truth, first I must get the candle properly identified to make sure that not you, that you would have any misgivings, but that it hasn't been tampered with or replaced behind your back. And these things can be done, but because of the dangers inherently involved with magic, there is a process that we must go through. I would rather just speak to you aunt to nephew. But if you absolutely need such a thing to be done, provide me with a candle. I will have it identified, properly assessed, and then we will go through the process of this charade to ease your mind.
Sure, I nod to her. Go ahead.
The fate of our kingdom may very well rest in your hands. Scoria, as you know, has become more active, and it is looking more and more like our job here is to delay the enemy, slow them down, harass them, and then wait for you three to strike, take down the dragons so that we may conquer the armies.
I nod and I produce the purple candle from my bag of holding. Do you know how long it will take to set up such a meeting?
A couple of weeks.
My wizards weeks to identify.
And clerics are busy. These identification spells eats up 2 full days for a spellcaster who is absolutely needed, and so it must be timed in conjunction. There are a lot of moving pieces here, and this is each of these identify spells is a wrench in existing plans. It is unfortunate that these things happen so slowly.
What about the what was the name of the one that Nick went to? She seemed to be helping us.
I'm gonna need that long anyway, Stephen. At least
You're gonna need
so,
what? Oh.
At least 2 weeks. So.
Okay. I've used this Candle of Truth one time or 2 times so far. I believe twice. Once, did we use it with the monks once? I know we used it with the people in the cave. Yeah. Do you have a feeling over you when you're under the influence of the Candle of Truth? Are you able to discern that? Can you?
You are aware that you are that you've made a saving throw and that you must speak truly, or you may not lie.
Gotcha. You make a saving throw against it.
If you want. Or you can just automatically subject
You can
yourself
choose to
it.
fail that saving throw.
Can you tell if
But you
somebody's
are
passed a saving?
entitled to save. No. But you could like sit in the candle for like 4 rounds, and that would be 4 saving throws.
Gotcha.
And it would be hard to pass 4 saving throws.
Okay.
Well, unless she has an amulet of something.
Yeah,
right?
I needed to like get
Like
fucking naked.
clear-mindedness or whatever.
Yeah, which could be arranged in 2 weeks for her to have. So she, You might as well just have the frank talk with her and say it's needed, I think.
Fuck me. All right. Yeah, I think for a moment.
What is on your mind, Tyrael? What have you seen that have caused you to doubt your own flesh and blood?
I replace the candle in my backpack, and I think for a moment, and I look her in the eyes and I say, "Wait, how tall is she?"
Your aunt?
Yeah, is she hot?
No. What the fuck? That's our mom's sister. She's like 60.
And? This is the Middle Ages, baby. We gotta keep the bloodline pure.
She's 5'8", 155 pounds, about 57 years old.
Okay, whatever. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, I look her in the eyes and I say, I'm going to be very frank with you. I think that should we kill Scoria? Should we reign victorious and bring the dragon's head back into this kingdom? It seems as though if we were ones to desire it, we could pose some threat to your rule. Being that our mother was originally in line to be queen, being as though being dragon slayers ourselves. Now, I come to you now obviously saying this as having no desire to do so. However, it seems
One
as
of
though...
the guards interrupts you with a very rare... These guards never talk.
Yeah, tell them to shut the fuck up.
Very, quickly, you insolent whelp, how dare you? And the queen, like, silences him.
Yeah,
with, like,
he
a
better.
couple of
I
snaps
pull
and a
my
wave at
moon
him.
blade. Roll initiative, Koibu. No. Okay.
Sorry for the interruption. They are extremely protective of me.
There's that. Yeah. So there is worry. Can we go on break? I need to think about this conversation some more.
Yeah.
Let me just think. Okay, because now you're fucking my mind up. Why did that dumb fuck guard? I glare at him. I shoot him a glare. You know.
Don't make it worse.
Fuck that guy. Wait, did you say we have to go on break?
Did you want a break? We can break if you need time.
Yeah, if you need time, Steven, if you're not good enough to do it on the spot, then we can go to.
No, I'm good. No, I'm fine actually.
No, Steven, take the break.
No, I don't need the
No,
break.
he doesn't need
I don't
the break,
need. I don't need the break.
Okay.
I say that we've seen so much treachery behind enemy lines, and of course, I wouldn't expect this to happen of you. But do you think there's anything that you would have to assuage? There's a word there. Assuage. My conscience that either you or your advisors would encourage our disposal after such a mission? And if it helps your conscience at all, the reason why I ask you this, and perhaps it'll be more important later, perhaps you already know the answer, our own mother was coming to us, asking us a great many questions about the mission that we are on. Now, we have been as careful as we possibly could be in terms of revealing what exactly we do to anybody. In fact, I don't think we've told another living soul outside of the ones in this room and Clertus himself about the nature of our mission. But we weren't sure if you were using or trying to use our mother to spy on us, or if some other treachery has found its way into our household.
I love your mother dearly. We were raised together. We had our differences. But she is... How do you say this? She has the life that I would have had. I have the one that she would have had. And in some odd way, we managed to balance each other out. She gives me what I lack, and she is important to me. I would never use her as a pawn. Also, between you and me, your mother's not the greatest at statecraft. She's not the best at keeping secrets. And she has poor judgment. Now, I love her dearly, but she is the last person I would ever want to use as a spy or an agent for anything.
Sure, I nod my head. I understand that, and I would have expected as much, though her insistence was worrying me in her trying to discern what it is that we were up to. Now,
Is that not a mother's job to worry about her children?
it could be a mother's job. It could also be some foreign agent acting upon her mind as well, under the convenient guise of a mother's concern. Now, again, I tell you, and I implore some level of empathy here. It could just be our paranoia. We've spent so much time in other lands that it becomes hard to discern friend from foe at some point. And I'm just trying to assure my brothers that there's no trickery or anything going on behind the scenes. Now, again, as I've come to speak with you, I don't believe that any of this has happened. I just want to make sure that our minds remain focused on the mission ahead of us, and we don't get sidetracked by any type of weird paranoia that we might have about what goes on back here at home.
Tyrael, my nephew, you are beloved by this family. I would never think of you as disposable. We have chosen the three of you for this task because I think you are the right ones for it. You have the power of the family. You have the loyalty to the crown. You come from good stock who has always chosen what is best for the kingdom over what is best for themselves. I could have sent many a person on this mission. And she makes a motion forward and calls for Titus, the guard who spoke out of turn, and tells him, Titus, take off your gauntlet. He takes off both of his gauntlets and sets them down. She says, Titus, hold out your hand. And he holds out his left hand. And she gets up, producing a dagger from somewhere on her that you definitely didn't see a dagger earlier, and walks over to him, sets the blade of the dagger against his palm, and then slowly begins to drive it through the palm. And you can see him wincing in pain at this. And she stops, looks at you and goes, I have a great many good and loyal people. Titus here is one of the best warriors this kingdom has to offer. With the weapons and armor and magical items you have collected, I have no doubt Titus could slay Scoria. She pulls the dagger out, gives him a gentle kiss on the hand, and returns his gloves to him. If I had wanted to use you, I would have used you to collect these items, given them to Titus, and had him do the work. His position is here with me. His visibility is too high. We give you these things that you could use to cause endless trouble for the kingdom, and we trust you with them. We trust you with the greatest magic we can find. We trust you with letters from the Queen that allow anyone to bypass any security point simply by holding them. A letter which, if it fell into the hands of our enemy, could devastate this kingdom. Can you imagine what they would do with that?
Which, is she talking about the letter for... Yeah, okay.
An entire division of Mystrian soldiers could arrive in the castle under the guise of this letter without any problems and cause endless chaos, perhaps even siege the keep itself. We trust you with these things because you are family. You matter to us. I could not dispose of you, would not dispose of you. You are invaluable. You're family.
Can I perception check to see if I feel like she's being genuine? Or is this a rehearsed bullshit-ass speech?
I think this is one of those clutch moments where there's no die roll that's going to help you.
What?
You got to use your own judgment here.
Okay.
All right. Cheerio nods. Thank you very much. I appreciate the conversation. I apologize.
Feel that? That's fate.
I apologize at the frankness of this conversation. Titus? That was his name, right? Has every right over here to feel insulted on your behalf. You didn't need to grace me with this conversation. You didn't need to make any of these assurances to me, and I want you to know that me and my brothers greatly appreciate it. If there's anything that you need of the McGarry household, if there are any other quests, missions, errands, or anything that you need of us as we travel and do what we need to do, I don't think I need to say it, but of course you can always make these requests or demands of us, and we'll do our best to rise to the occasion.
The only thing I need you to do is the most difficult thing possible. Gather the tools you need and slay Scoria. It is I who is at your disposal. And if I come off harsh or angry with you from time to time, it is only because the entire fate of Arcadia rests in your hands, and small slips can have devastating consequences.
Okay, I nod.
Appreciate your slaying of the dragoons, but I think it was reckless and foolhardy, and I think your younger brother, not youngest, might be a little hot-headed. Velthara is a powerful goddess, but she has a way of warping people's minds, making them react to the smallest slights. And when you play the game at this level, you cannot be baited by insults or misgivings. You
Okay.
must be careful.
All right, I nod. All right, I thank you so much, my queen. We are going to have a final conversation. Have we told any of them, Clotus or anybody, about our plans to kill Azeron?
Yes.
Yeah, we told Cletus.
Well, I mean, Cletus knows that's our next plan.
Cletus knows, okay.
Specifically told him.
All right. I trust that Clotus has probably communicated with you our plans to slay Azeron in the west. The north. Dragon Ridge is north, right? To the north of here. I trust this is an okay step forward on our mission. You don't have any words for us?
Dragon slaying is a difficult task. When a dragon dies, as I'm sure you are well aware of, it is news. If a blue dragon, such as Azeron, were to vanish, it would attract attention. As I understand it, you are getting deeper into your missions, and it is getting harder to acquire the magic items you need without attracting attention. At some point, Azeron must die, and it will undoubtedly alert Scoria to something, and she will undoubtedly begin to look into the downfall of Azeron. We may be approaching the point where you are coming under suspicion of the enemy. This is inevitable. I'm sure you've thought of it. If you think this is the right time to make this move, I'm going to trust you with this. Been very hands-off. I'm trying not to micromanage your endeavors, because I think you are the best ones to know what to do and when to do it. You do not need a queen looking over your shoulder, crossing your T's and dotting your I's.
Okay.
If you have questions, please come by. If you wish advice, I am here to give it. But we trust you with the tasks before you.
I nod my head. I guess my only question, I have low expectations, of course. You sent a spy forward with a hat of disguise and an ESP amulet. Are these items still being used in service of the kingdom, or do you think that these are going to become available to us at any point? It might help us keep a lower profile, depending on the creatures we choose to slay in the future. But I understand, of course, if they're needed for your efforts.
She gets up from the table, goes over to a table in the room, opens a drawer, shuffles through some papers, produces a note, reads over it one more time, and then says to you, "We have gained some intelligence from our spy thus far. We are waiting for more. We expect there to be much more. There are a great many spies, scouts, and saboteurs we have behind enemy lines. Now, you had managed to capture and interrogate one of these vanguard leaders, a woman by the name of, can't quite remember. Scoria has other factions working with her. It is the locations of these other factions our spies are actively working for, or looking to sort out. A group of Scoria's troops known as Enforcers are somewhat known to us now. It appears they number about 1,000, mostly goblins, about half goblins, but with another 300 orcs and 200 ogres, trolls and giants amongst them as well. These are probably not so much of a worry for your mission. For the front lines, possibly quite a problem. These are crack troops that can crash and smash a settlement with little to no problem. They have been supposedly taking ships across the Grand Canal to Longcast, Kneecap, and perhaps further inland, although we cannot get information on what they've done there. Only that new fires have been seen from Longcast and Kneecap when the Enforcers cross the canal. Scoria's lair guard seems to be broken into a few different positions. There are certainly monsters within the wormwood itself, and then there is a lair of monsters at the gates to Scoria's lair, which is on the ground level but deep within the wormwood. These guards are hard to find information on. Trolls, ogres, giants, to be certain, but the true dangers have not yet been discovered. Our spies are working to accumulate this knowledge, but it is slow going. Our bigger concerns are about her servants, Zorthan, the dwarven cleric of Verasi. Zarthan, the dwarven cleric of Verasi, and his lot are what concern us the most. It appears these members of Scoria's troop guard unit, her servants, live within the Dragon Peak mountain range itself, possibly living within her lair. There has been no information about the innards of the keeps yet. However, our spies are not entirely ill-equipped. There is a possibility that we've received of getting one of these inner servants in a quiet room where their mind can be probed. It is on the docket for our spies out there. When this information comes back to you, comes back to us, we will see that you get it. The items are being put to excellent use.
Okay. I trust in your judgment. Thank you very much. I appreciate the audience. That's all I have.
May the gods bless your journey, Tyrael McGarry.
Thank you very much, my queen.
All right. You are escorted out, and as you are walking down the hall, you can hear the queen telling Titus to go get his hand looked at by a cleric.
Before I walk down the hall, as I'm escorted out. Oh, does a guard walk me to the front?
What?
Does a guard walk me all the way out of the castle to the front?
No, you're you come out of the room, the queen and her guards are going to go left, you're going to go right. You know how to get out of the castle from here.
Can I use detect noise and listen for any conversation down the hall? See if they say anything of importance? Yeah.
Yeah, you can stop and pretend to tie your shoe or something so you've got an excuse to be still and quiet for a moment. Give me a detect noise. Yeah. You hear the queen saying to Titus, "I'm sorry about that, Titus. Please have one of the clerics look at your hand." She kisses it again, gently, and turns to her other guard and says, "Right. I believe it's time to retire for the evening. Shall we away to the inner keep?" And the guard gives her a grunt of agreement and falls in place behind her. The two of them head out one way. Titus comes in your direction.
Yeah, I guess I'll rise to my knees and nod at him as he walks past, or?
Yeah, he begins to walk past you, and you can see underneath his great helm, his eyes dart to you, a little bit narrowed, watching you suspiciously as you are tying your shoe in the hallway.
Okay. Yeah, I'll leave the castle. Fuck it.
All right, cool. Yeah, you leave the castle. It's cool. All right.
Return
make
home
it
at
home?
night. Yeah. I'll go find my. I'll go find Anton.
Anton will be eagerly awaiting.
Can I? Yeah, I'll ask for the letter back, I guess.
I'll hand him back. Do you find what you seeked?
Yeah, I think that your amulet is just stirring up so much paranoia. It's affected my mind. When I had I had a very frank conversation with the queen. As I talk to him, I'll kind of like produce, I guess, a flint and steel or whatever I need to light an ever-burning candle, and I'll set the envelope on fire and toss it onto the floor as it burns, which I
You
imagine
can
is
just
like
use your new one where you snap.
Oh, sure that. Okay, I'll snap, set it on fire, toss it on the floor. So if it's a stone floor, I don't want to burn the house down or whatever. Yeah. I believe that. I don't believe we have anything to worry about from the queen. I think that this is a distraction on our mission. I don't think we need to worry about where her loyalty lies.
If you honestly believe that, I believe you.
Yeah.
You're the leader of the group, so I nod.
Sure. Okay.
Velthara said an honest man has nothing to fear, so I wasn't too worried about you.
Thank you. Okay. Well, I'm done. Perhaps we should meet with Emmerich, see if he found any new information about any of the magical items. Let's go talk to him.
Sure. We also need to test out the lightning axe.
Yeah, we do need to do that.
How are you going to test it?
He's
You'll
gonna.
find out soon enough, Neil.
All right, shall we go to our last break?
Sure.
You want to?
We will be back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tombs of Scoria. Imric, let's
Yes.
deal with you. You have a little man in your pocket.
All right, I skulk back to the house and enter through the back door, and quickly head up to my room and close the door behind me.
Let me set the appropriate mood music. Excellent. All right.
All right, as I get into my room, I turn around and lock the door behind me. I check to make sure the windows are closed, and then I pull a chair up facing my bed, and I take the guy out from the pocket and place him on the bed and sit down on the chair and say, "The spell will wear off in time, but it's time to talk.
Of
Is
course.
your story worth your freedom?"
Absolutely. Oh, great Lord. Thank you for rescuing me from the pitiful dungeon in which I was kept for far too long.
Yes. Well, it sounds like you were falsely imprisoned, so
Absolutely. I'm a good man. I've only ever served my lieges and lords appropriately. And look at what has become of me.
truly tragic story. But I'll be the judge of whether you deserve to be in the prisons or not, so speak wisely.
Deep in the Frostlands, we found a half-elf. And in his home, there was the most beautiful orb I've ever seen. Beautiful, bright sparkles drifting down, as if snowing from the sky itself, but in the orb alone. And it emanated a cold I wouldn't believe of.
What happened to it?
We spoke with the half-elf. The knights. And he begins to grow as the spell wears off, and his voice changes for a moment, and he waits till he's full grown to speak. The knights, they questioned the half-elf about how he lived there, why he was there. He said that there had been others that came by. Anyway, that's not the orb that I saw him. He as we were leaving, he protected it. He went to it and rested his hand on it, and it swirled with colors and changed patterns. And when we left his house and made our way back to Solwick, we were met with a terrible blizzard. I believe that half-elf had an orb that changes the weather, that controls the frost in the lands. It was just north of Atreya that we found it.
Okay. Just gonna note that down. North of Atreya.
Yes.
What was this half-elf's name?
I safe? Is my freedom guaranteed? Can I go?
Not until you finish telling me and answering all my questions.
A young man by the name of Ferris.
How did he come into possession of this thing?
I don't know. We were just there. Our investigation was to scout out the area, learn how things worked in the Frostlands, and we found him, and he had the orb.
When was this?
5 years ago? 3 years ago? I don't know how long I've been down in the dungeons.
And what? You returned to town, you made your way through this blizzard, and then what?
We did make it to town. I had a pint at the local tavern.
This is in
Spoke.
Solwick.
Yes, my lord, yes. Yes, I spoke with one of my friends at the tavern. We got quite drunk. You know, not many people venture into the Frostlands. I was telling every story. The bears we fought, or the creatures we'd seen, the white ooze that slipped along the ground. The rolling balls. Have you seen them? The rolling balls of the Frostlands?
Shake my head.
He, shakes his head as if to wipe away a bad memory. Anyway, I told my tale to my friends, and the next morning, they came for me. Shackled me in chains. Tried me for murder that I didn't commit. I ended up here, there, in the dungeons.
And they didn't imprison you in Solwick, they took you all the way to Wickthrone and Renta.
Capital crimes and all.
If I showed you a map, could you point me to the location of this thing?
Near Atreya. I couldn't tell which way was north or south at that point of time. It was endless flatlands around just the hills. Somewhere near it.
What makes you think this orb is so powerful? Just the way you've been treated afterwards?
I grew up believing that orbs were some of the most powerful magic items. They were able to control creatures' minds or weather patterns. And he had it. He had something. It shimmered and sparkled, and glitter rained down on the inside of it.
What is your name, friend?
You know my greatest weakness, Nicholas. My name is Jules.
Well, Jules. Do you think people in town would recognize you? Probably not, right? You were...
Not here. Not in not in the Wicker Throne. No. I'm known in Solwick. That's not where I'm headed, though.
Okay.
Once I've got a taste of freedom, I'm getting as far away from this place as I can. Maybe
Shake my
Whalers
head.
Bay? Crublin?
Perhaps one day, Jules, but for now, I'm gonna have to keep you close. You may need to find this orb that you speak of. You said you could take me to it.
I could take you there.
Fortunately, my other duties keep me occupied for now. Perhaps you could stay here, help around the house. Don't venture too far from the doors of the building.
Shouldn't you introduce me to the other members of the house? He points to himself in his rags. Someone's gonna think I'm a burglar.
No, I will. We'll handle that, but first, I reach into a drawer and pull out a sheet of blank paper and a quill. I'm going to need you to describe to me this Faris in as great detail as possible. I understand it's been a long time, but you haven't had a lot of things to distract you since, so hopefully you can remember quite well.
He's a half-elf. Golden hair. Kind of pointy ears. A little bit on the shorter side. Kind of muscly. Kind of a dick. He wasn't very nice to the knights that we were talking to. We were with which he was speaking. I don't know. covered in snow and furs at the time. Little hut way out in the middle of nowhere.
I reach for my crystal ball and draw it between us, and attempt to scry on this forest individual based on my limited description. 21.
Just throw it, Mooten. Throw him across
Just
the
throw
room.
the cards.
They need to learn, Mooten. You need to teach them a lesson. Remember how we do on the Rift? You gotta teach them a lesson, Mooten.
Not gonna eat the cat.
Yeah, you got nothing on it. It doesn't return anything.
Okay. Okay. Come with me. In fact, no, stay here a second. I will unlock my door, open it, lock it behind me. Does the house have rooms that are unoccupied?
Yeah, totally.
All
Yeah.
right. I check the coast is clear, and I want to escort him to one of these rooms. I'll grab the key for it and lock the door, lock him in the room.
There are guest rooms and there are servants' rooms that are unoccupied.
Yeah, I'll put him in a
Would you like
servant's
to do?
room.
Okay. So that'll be on the
Lock.
3rd floor, way upstairs.
All right, I make sure it's clear. I lock him in there, and then I'm gonna head straight out to the market and buy him some clothes.
Yep.
And I get him like a wash bucket, and I'll come back to the room, unlock the door, come in, put the bucket down, put the clothes down on the bed, and say, "All right, clean yourself up. I'll be back up here to speak to you in an hour or two."
All right.
By the way,
He'll-
what skills do you have? Can you cook, clean, garden?
I can cook. Not great. Probably not to your liking, but I can do it. I can clean. I can garden. I can haul things. I can cut wood. My father was a bricklayer, so I can lay bricks a little. Got some experience with it.
Okay, good. Well, yeah, clean yourself up. I'll be back, and I'll head down to the other servants' quarters, like maybe down to the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And do we have like a housekeeper? You know, someone who's in charge of the servants.
Yeah, you have a grounds. You got 2 people. One that's in charge of the dudes, and one's in charge of the ladies.
Okay, I'm
So
going
that's
to speak to
gender
the guy
division
who's in
of labor
charge
here.
of the guys.
Yep.
Hey there. Can I have a word for a
This would
moment?
be the butler, the head butler.
Yeah. I can only assume it's called Jeeves or Worcester. And they're pretty much
Worcester is definitely
Worcester,
his name.
Yeah. Worcester. Can I have a word for a minute?
Of course.
A friend of a friend's fallen on hard times, and I've offered him a job. He seems strong enough. We've got spare rooms. He says he can do gardening, help with cleaning. Are you all right to put this
We should
individual
get
to work?
another random servant from your adventures, my lord.
Indeed, Worcester, although I would rather you didn't go shouting about it. It's not a secret or anything, but I'd rather it
No,
not,
of course.
get around. Yeah.
No need to attract attention to what I see as a great charitable giving.
Of course. Yeah, come
Splendid.
with me. I'll introduce you to him. Assuming it's been like
Is
enough
he
time.
here already? My God.
He is. I have him in one of the spare servants' quarters.
Right.
So assuming it's been enough time, like, wait half an hour, I'll go up to the room and unlock the door, knock and open it a crack and say, Jules, you isn't?
I am.
Okay. I open the door and let Worcester go in first and then following him in, close the door behind me. Worcester, this is Jules, the individual I was telling you about. He's going to help us out around the house. Jules, this is Worcester. He's our butler. You'll answer to him. You'll do everything he says. If I speak to Worcester and he tells me that you've been slacking off, you've been running your mouth, you've not been doing what you're told, unfortunately, I'll have to take action. So just be on your best behavior. At least until we
He
can
bows
resolve...
profusely.
Until we can resolve your issues, and once things are resolved for you, then we can, then you're free to go where you will.
Buster approaches the gentleman and gives like a walk around him, inspecting him, and pulls at his fabric a little bit, and like moves his hair a little, and shakes his head and goes, "You're filthy. We got to get you right to the baths." And this is after he's already like cleaned up with the bucket. He
Yeah.
looks at the ground. There's water spilled everywhere, and he, clicks his tongue together, and takes the young man under his wing and will hurry him off to like get a proper bath at the bathhouses, get some fix him up, keep an eye on him, bring him under his wing. You can overhear them as they walk away, being like, "What skills do you have? Have you ever served a dinner? No? No, well, let's start with the basics. You put the forks on the left and the...
Okay, and I say, Worcester, cut his hair, shave his beard, make him look presentable.
Absolutely, my lord. I was hoping you would say that.
Very good, very good. All right, I have other matters to attend to. I trust I can leave this with you?
Absolutely, sir.
All right, I will head downstairs to look for my brothers.
Yeah, you can run into your family. You're all gathered together now.
Anton, Tyrrell, I've spoke with Oxomba, and I have our items identified. And this is the first one, I say, as I reach into my robe and start just pulling out, like, the ring of protection, the time, the hourglasses, all the other stuff. I lay it all out on the table. The sword is still with the wizard for now. I've given her one of the lookstones to potentially identify any additional properties that it's got. But for now, this is everything we've got here. The sword should be available within a week or two. While we're here, I have the spells learned today. Perhaps we should test out the efficacy of this axe when it comes to resisting lightning.
Yeah, I'll hand Tyrrell the axe. All right, just hold it up.
Okay, wait.
I'll go first.
No, Anton first. I want to try one other thing first. I want to see if the two of you are in a line, and I cast it at Tyrrell, will the lightning bolt stop at the axe, or will it carry on and pass through to you?
I can do my thing 3 times a day, so you two get in the line, and then I'll do it. Does that make sense?
Well, yours isn't a line. Like yours isn't a line though. Yours like spreads, right?
I think if I just do it on. Oh, I guess, yeah.
The lightning bolt spell is a lot more like the breath weapon.
The other one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
do you have 2 castings of lightning bolt?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, cool. I stand in a line then.
You've got healing, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Tyrrell, hold your spear and the axe in your offhand.
The spear and the axe?
Well, I mean, sorry, your sword and the axe in your offhand, because this is how you'll be when it comes to the fight.
Okay, I draw my +2 sword, and I hold on to the axe in my offhand, and I'm like, do I need to do anything special with this?
Just brace. Anton, get behind him.
Yeah, I would assume you use the axe to brace for the lightning, but yes, I get behind him.
All right.
Is this axe currently charged with lightning?
Oh, good point. Maybe like hack into the ground or something to get rid of it, yeah.
Okay, I found like a tree stump. No. I mean, it's lightning. I can set things ablaze, right? So, is there like a stone? Well, we're not gonna be hacking off parts of stone inside the nice floor in our house. I imagine we could probably travel out a little bit into the woods to do this, and then find like near maybe a river. There might be like a bunch of rocks, like a rocky area to like discharge this. Is that okay?
Yeah, if you want to leave the castle, you could walk into the woods and,
All right, we'll do
float some bolts.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
I don't think we want to be casting spells like this in the city.
Yeah, you're probably right. Okay, with the axe discharged, Tyrrell in the front, axe in the offhand, Anton directly behind him.
Mm-hmm.
I will take like 50 feet back, and then I cast lightning bolt as a line, hitting Tyrrell, and then it would hit Anton behind him.
All right, so let me get this. You are standing in one spot. Mm-hmm. Anton is a little ways away from you. Tyrrell is standing directly behind him.
No, Tyrrell's in front with the axe.
Tyrrell's in front, Anton's behind. Yeah. Tyrrell has the axe.
Yeah, in his offhand.
Wait, we can just put ourselves on the map, right? This should be...
Yeah.
Okay, so... I will stand behind Tyrrell like this, and Emmerich, you can move yourself to where you want to be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like this.
Okay, well then we would be like this.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, like this.
And you emptied the axe of all its charges, right?
Yes. Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm gonna lightning bolt like this through them.
Excellent.
All right. 7d6.
Yeah.
27.
Great.
Damage.
Give me saving throws, guys. You get hit with the lightning bolt.
Is it save or spell?
Save or spell?
Yep.
What do I need to roll? High, right?
Click the button.
Okay.
Yeah. One pass, one fail. If you fail, you take 27 damage. If you pass, you take half of that.
Wait, so the axe doesn't work?
No, the axe works. It needs one charge on it in order to absorb lightning. As long as there's
really?
at least one charge, it provides protection against lightning or electrical attacks.
Oh, okay.
You
So
could-
How does it charge?
Okay.
How do we charge this again?
You can just rub it with like cloth.
By rubbing the crystal blade with wool or fur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay,
Okay.
Well, we'll come back the next day then, because I need to get my
Yep.
HP
You
back.
guys just got
Wait, wait,
blowed
wait.
up by a lightning bolt.
Can you not heal yourself, Anton?
I can, I guess.
Yeah,
All right,
just
here's
heal up
5
and do it
cure
again.
light wounds. 5d8. 16. I don't know. Is that 30? That's 31 minus 27. So I'd have been at 4 plus 16. I'll be at 20.
Wait,
And
just
then I have
Tyrael
one-
takes half damage, right?
Good. 14
Yeah,
damage.
you take 13.
I'll heal another 6. Okay, I'm at 26.5 now. No,
Is that
we
all?
come back tomorrow. If this doesn't
Yeah,
work, then
okay,
we just
yeah.
die. So, no
Yeah,
thanks.
yeah.
Coward.
Okay, we come back the next day fully healed.
And do that
All
again.
right. You throw down a bunch of healing spells the next day, so everyone's at full HP. We
Yeah.
can just hand wave all that shit. All right. You have at least one charge in the axe now. Someone's
We
rubbed
have
it
as
with
many
some full-
charges as we can.
Yeah, it holds 3 charges. Cool. All right. Now it's all charged up. Woo!
23.
The lightning bolt strikes the axe, and you feel your hands begin to like sizzle with the power kind of coursing through it, and the axe kind of glows on the inside a little bit. It's got this crystallized head, and you can see all these tiny little blue cracks streaking all around it, shimmering for half a second or so before it fades, and the axe remains warm to your touch.
And it never goes through Tyrael to hit Anton. It's completely stopped.
Correct.
And it still has 3 charges in it?
Yep.
All right, it worked.
Is there? Can you
come
cast that
back-
spell at a higher level?
No.
We're about to test it at a higher
Yeah.
level because I'm going to also do my lightning at you.
Yeah, we're gonna double up here.
So, we'll come back the next day.
No, he's not taking any damage. We're good. We can just do it now.
Well, I'm worried that he said the blade is still hot, right? I'm worried that we're gonna fucking overload this thing.
okay.
And we're
No,
being
we
here
want
for
to
weeks
overload
anyway,
it if
so-
we can.
No, because we don't want to break it.
We do want to break
We
it.
don't want to break it.
No, because if we break it, we can't use
We
it.
absolutely don't want to break it.
We absolutely want to break it because if we're going to break this with our bullshit lightning, I'd rather break it now than the lightning spell breaks it, overloads it, and instantly kills us with the breath weapon. So if it can break
What's
through
gonna
our...
happen is
Even if it breaks, we
it's
can
gonna
absorb
probably
one.
break on one breath
Yeah,
weapon.
we can still
Yeah.
absorb.
But
the
what
first
do you
That is
think?
my guess. It's
There's
gonna-
you don't think there's a chance that that one breath weapon overloads it and then just blows us up with the extra damage afterwards?
It would still be so much less damage because it would have taken, I don't know, let's say 14d6, 14d8 or whatever, and then we get hit by like 2d8 of the breath weapon.
Well, what I'm saying is like, what if? So we've done 23 damage to it. What if it breaks after like 30 damage and he rolls and he does like 65 damage and then it breaks and there's 35 damage overflow?
Sure. If you really want to do this, we can try it. I'm just cautioning against
All
it.
right.
Because if it breaks, it's just going to be like, oh, okay, lol, our magic item's broken.
Tyrael's convinced me. Let's just try it.
Sure, I'll try it.
Yeah.
I'll shoot my spear at it as you shoot your lightning bolt at it.
Wait. Hold on. Let's talk about this. Okay. Yeah, chill, because we were having this conversation. I'm not just gonna stand here as you guys fucking try to murder me. All right. Okay, so you're gonna throw your spear at me to hit me or what?
I'm going to shoot the lightning at you.
Okay, so you're shooting the lightning at me to discharge all of your charges in your spear. Nick is gonna cast the lightning spell. You're doing this simultaneously?
Yeah.
Okay, can I borrow? Do you have like a do you have like a
I'll
cloak?
hand you my elemental cloak that gives you +4 on saves.
It's pretty clever. Yeah.
Okay, all right, I'll do that. Okay, and then fine. Then the spear and then Nick's lightning attack. Can you cast it at higher level, or is this just the strongest you
No,
can cast
that's
it?
it.
Okay, all right,
That's
gotcha.
all I can do.
Okay, I'm going
Right.
to cast mine with all 3 spear charges shooting out. It should just mechanically shoot out more lightning. It's not going to change the amount of damage it does, but here's the 2d6. 3. 24. But it's going to be a shitload of lightning shooting out of mine.
Okay, so you blast with the lightning from your spear at the same time that Imric casts lightning bolt. So you're
Correct.
hitting the axe with 2 lightning effects simultaneously.
Yep, and I would like to start this with 1 charge right now on the axe.
Sure.
Our goal is to simulate a breath weapon of magnitude of lightning is kind of the goal. But yeah.
Yeah. The 2 bolts strike the axe. It absorbs the energy of them, seemingly without error, without harm to the wielder, although it is growing warmer to the touch now. Also, both of you guys roll your damage if you haven't already. Oh, you did.
I did.
3 and 21.
Is the does it have 3 charges in it now, or does it still have 1 charge, or what?
It still has 1 charge.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Gotcha.
Cyril, you might as well keep hold of it.
No, I'm gonna be holding that in battle.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just have to be in front.
Well, so I've got other stuff to do, but it's literally just learning spells. I'm going to try and research a spell, so it doesn't really need any role playing.
You need 2 rolls, right?
Yeah, we've got about 10 minutes left now, and then I just roll these spells that I want to
So then it does need role playing.
Wow.
I'm so sorry.
So good.
Clever.
I know it was.
Very clever, yeah.
Oh, you.
All right, so what other spells did you want to learn?
Well, Project Self and Polymorph Self. And then I want to try and research Magic Missile.
Great. Roll me 4d6, and then roll me the d100.
46.
42.
Dazed.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so 6. This is for Project Self. Pass.
Bigly.
And then for Polymorph Self, it takes 5 days. Okay, still, Project Self. And then I want to try and research Magic Missile now.
Okay. I just have to move to a new calendar because we've entered into June, and my old calendar is full because our game started in June.
Can you project yourself to the Bronze Dragon this episode?
I think I'd need to scry on it a bit first to be able to pin down the location.
Well, we have a lot of days to be here.
It's
Yeah.
for Polymorph Self, right?
Yeah.
You want to roll your scries?
Yeah, we can do.
So we're gonna be here for 3 weeks. So you have 3 weeks to scry in them. That's
It's going to be
18
longer because I'm
days?
going to research Magic Missile after this.
call it 28 days then.
Yeah.
Have you tried learning Magic Missile since you leveled?
No, this is researching it because I'm maxed out on level 1 spell slots, so I have to research it.
Ah, okay. So you're gonna need a proper library and everything. That's gonna take 2 weeks per spell level.
Yeah, so it's 2 weeks.
Okay. And I think we can say you've got access to a library for at least the purposes of Magic Missile. That's the smallest library that you would need. And I think that is, you can probably go talk to the Archmage and borrow a small section of her library. If you're going to be researching higher level spells, she's probably going to want to be involved in conversation. But when you're like, I haven't learned Magic Missile yet,
Yeah.
and I need to, and she's kind of like, oh my god, this is embarrassing. Okay, here, hurry's in the corner for you.
Can she help me do it quicker?
I mean, in theory, but she's got other stuff to do. She's not. She's got more important things to do than to help you research a first level spell.
While I'm here, I want to bring up the unicorn horn that we gave the queen for a favor and ask if she has the ability to create protection scrolls from lightning. And would she make one for us?
Keep in mind, we gave her the fucking unicorn horn.
Let me see. Scrolls. What spells do you need to create a protection scroll? There you go. Scrolls. Protection from. There's elementals. Magic, petrification, plants, poisons, possession, undead.
Electricity is the one you
water.
want.
Is that is there a scroll protection from electricity?
Yes.
That must be protection from
No.
No, because this is protection from elementals as an elemental creature.
Yeah, it's the one above it.
Yeah. is it? Scroll has no spell equivalent to the character. He must research the scroll using normal spell research rules. Figure out the effective level, by the experience point value by 500 and add 2. So protection from electricity is 1500 and 3, so that's going to be the equivalent of 5th level.
I was assuming that maybe he already knows how. She already knows how to create this as an invoker.
If she were an abjurer, she would probably have this shit already. An invoker is a little bit more violent, offensive in nature. Cost of time. So this would be a 5th level effect that she would be trying to create. Takes a day per spell level to write. To learn the spell, it'd have to be researched as if a 5th level spell, so that'd probably take 10 weeks of research. And she does not have that time.
Okay.
But there might be another wizard lower ranking than her that could do that time. She's not the only wizard around.
We haven't really got 10 weeks to wait, I don't think.
Are there no
Yeah.
abjurers that are lower level that she knows?
In town.
Yeah, let me make some rolls. See
yeah.
if maybe someone around here, they know someone who might know how to do one of.
Okay.
Why don't you all roll me a d20? This is a more fun way of doing it. You want to all roll high. One of you guys needs. No,
Fuck you,
there's no one
Koibu.
nearby. No one fucking knows how to get such a scroll.
We don't care anyway.
No,
All right, I
not
guess
even
we're relying on the
remotely.
axe.
It's fine, we
Okay.
got the axe.
Can I research magic missile then?
Totes. It'll take 2 weeks, I think, and
Do I have
cost
to
a
roll
certain amount of
still?
gold, which I think in this situation the castle will be covering the expenses of because you're using their
Perfect.
laboratory.
Yeah.
Um,
Do I still need to
And,
roll? Can't remember.
yeah, there's a die roll which I'm looking up right now. Roll
Please. Please. Come on.
magic item creation.
You're never getting this spell, Nick.
Oh, I'm just going to be so annoyed.
I can't help you with the roll at all, right? With like choose future or
Plus
No,
one with
no,
the
no,
luck
this
stone.
is-
I didn't think so.
This one's on him.
What about Luckstone? +1?
No.
It would be
Minus
bad
curse.
luck if he didn't get it.
A
Swear
minus
to
one.
God, the next time Luckstone gets brought up incorrectly, it's just gonna break. They're just gonna die.
No. No.
Why can't I find? Here.
Inshallah.
Just for the record, guys, this session, I think I've rolled 3 d20s and they've all been ones.
Really?
Good.
I think so.
Oh, great. So you're saving up for your big good roll right now, right?
Literally.
All right.
3 d20s and they've all been ones. How? What the? Do you know what the chance of that is? It's like 1 in 8,000.
It's low.
So 10% is the base, plus 1 point per relevant ability score. That's your int. What's your int?
14.
Plus 1% per experience level. You're level 7.
Yeah.
Minus twice the spell level, which is level 1, so minus 2. So your base chance
It's 30.
is 29%.
29, yeah.
And then if you do not succeed on your first attempt, unless he's very high level, he probably won't, he may continue his research. At the end of each additional week, you may check with a cumulative plus 10 bonus However, if the character ever rolls a result of 99 or 100 on his success check, the DM may rule the spell proves unworkable and must be abandoned.
Forever?
Is it really only 29% chance?
29% chance the first week, 39 the second, and so forth and so on.
Okay.
You can do this. Just get it on the
Roll a
first.
100.
Nick, just get it on the first time.
I've not
Nope.
got it the first time. All right.
All right, so that's been another 2 weeks of spell research, which brings us, I don't know, this is going to be becoming like time-sensitive things.
Yeah, okay. So how many more weeks can I risk? Should we just do one more roll?
Hold on. Before you do that, actually, this might be the right spot to end because we've cut through a lot of time. We're moving into almost summer now, and I need to check like dragon movements and troop movements on the front because that might be coming into factors, or maybe not.
Sure. I also want to say that can we try to get more potions in the capital? We need more healing potions because I think we're down to like 2 or 3 left.
Oh yeah. And does she identify the sword with the luckstone? Does it do anything else?
I will give you the results of the Luckstone and troop movements and a place where you guys can take a adventure to go get some potions next week.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, because we can do something because we're gonna be here for weeks. Although I don't know if we
You
have to
really
leave
need to
Nick.
learn this, Nick. So I think Steve and I are gonna have to do some random fucking potion thing.
Yeah, we can probably just do that.
But it kind of sucks. But it's up to you if you want to cancel the spell. You know.
No, he should try one more time. I think.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I think
But
if
let
he's
me
gonna
do
try one more
some-
time, he should just try like 2 or 3 because he needs to learn it.
Well, I don't know how many weeks we can be here.
Well,
Let me
he
do
can
some
be
research
here,
in between
right?
sessions.
Yeah,
And
okay.
we'll sort it all out.
Yeah.
Can I roll the second one now?
You don't want to roll the second one now. Because if you succeed, but I'm like, sorry guys, you can't actually take that result because something else comes up, and then you're gonna mold, you know?
Mold.
Mold.
All right. Well,
Sure.
we're going to the screen. We've got questions. Apparently, somebody was posting all the questions in the wrong spot, so he's also molding.
You must have been so upset.
He was, but you know what? We got a lot of questions this time. So here we go. We have 5 of them. Are you ready?
Go.
If you guys want to ask questions like this, sign up to the D&D Patreon, where you can ask the actors themselves and the dungeon master questions about our
wow.
adventure. Yeah.
Nice.
How does Imric's perspective on the dangerous pursuit of wizardry compare to his perspective on his alcoholic habits?
You know, I think if someone's an alcoholic, they don't really consider the danger aspect of it, right? I mean, I think Imric was only ever an alcoholic for a good time. You know, it's not like he was depressed and just drinking to numb the pain. It was more just he was out partying all the time and sort of slipped into it.
Okay.
I don't think he really considers wizardry to be particularly dangerous either. I think he's kind of a happy-go-lucky kind of guy, doesn't worry too much, you know, so yeah, he's pretty chill. Although he's starting to worry a little bit more now as the stakes are raising, and he almost died last week.
All right. Koibu, what's been your favorite session to plan for so far?
I really enjoyed planning for Rohana's tomb. I had a lot of fun coming up with non-magical, like very mundane dangers that would be deadly even to magical characters.
AKA
and it was
water.
super fun. Yeah, water.
And
Water.
moss.
Water, moss, pointy sticks, you know, dexterity checks, that sort of stuff was super fun. Although I did forget that there was a trap in there that I completely forgot about until after you guys got all the way through. That would have also been fun.
What was the trap?
There was that tall staircase that you were supposed to climb, and I think at the bottom of the staircase there was a plaque. Where is it? Right here. There was a plaque on the very bottom of the staircase with some writing on it, and the writing was written as an explosive rune. So if you stop to read the plaque, it just blows up in your face, and you just know not to read the plaque at the bottom of the staircase if you want to like get to the proper tomb.
Okay.
Because explosive runes is a great spell, and I always forget to use it defensively.
Gotcha. I have a question. Wait, why did we not find, or I don't know if you can reveal this or not, but why did we not find Cassandra when we dug up that whole backyard? Was she just like in the house, or the vampire that we killed, ultimately?
No, she was just deeper in the ground. You know, it's just
Just deep. Okay.
physically out of reach.
Whatever. Okay. Seeing as Anton is off to a good start making enemies with gods, are there any gods that he would consider aligning with in addition to Velthara?
I don't know. He's probably just hardcore with Velthara. He's probably not thinking about any other gods, honestly. So no.
Okay.
If someone like reached out to him and was like, "Hey, fucking do this shit for me, and I'll give you some cool shit," he'd probably ask Velthara. If she was like, "Yeah, it's cool," he'd do it. But otherwise, no.
How did the McGarry parents meet? And what did Mom McGarry like so much about Dad McGarry? Who's their favorite kid? And do the parents have any career ambitions or hopes for their children outside of their individual happiness?
Well, Papa McGarry, his name is Leo. Leo McGarry is not like the other McGarrys. You know, he's a little bit more of an upstanding citizen. And the queen, what's your mom's first name? I can never remember.
Anton, what was
I think
it?
it was Teresa, like unironically.
Okay.
Nice.
Teresa.
Yeah, so Teresa and Leo met one fateful day at a ball, you would call it. There's like a big celebration in the capital, in the castle. Everyone gets invited, even like the minor noble families get invited. The McGarrys get an invitation, but of course, like they don't have the dress code to show up, except for Leo, who's been putting in the time and the effort to like, you know, at least be somewhat respectable. And so he shows up and he's the like down and dirty, lowest of the nobles. And the mom, who's going to be queen one day, is instantly attracted to the person that she's supposed to not be with in any way, shape, or form. You know, and anyone that would have been there would have been like, no, you shouldn't speak with him. He's, you know, so far down below. But being the resilient woman that she was, went to like go chat with this dude. They had a good time. They danced a little bit. And then after the ball, you know, they didn't get to see each other, but she thought of him. And her parents kept shoving her in the direction of like all these other young suitors. Look at these people. Here's someone from Eridon. Here's some people from Drekis. Look at all these wonderful nobles. And she was just like, no, no, no. And so she started sneaking out at night to go visit this McGarry dude. And they tried to tamp it down. And eventually it became, you know, a little bit of a castle secret that the young McGarry man would sneak into this place, and the young queen would, to be queen. What's the term for the next person in line? Heir?
Yes.
Princess? The young princess would sneak up and meet with him, and they kind of had like this tryst going on, which was happening right around the time that the former monarch was dying. And then as the deathbed came, she had to make a decision to like follow her heart or follow her responsibilities. And she abdicated all of her responsibilities to like go chase after this dirty little noble boy who was, you know, way below her status and had nothing to offer her whatsoever. It's very selfish of her.
Wow.
So who's the favorite kid?
I feel like Tyrael spent so much time with his uncle, like probably would have passed to either Emmerich or Anton.
It's gotta
I
be
think-
Emmerich, right? Youngest child?
Probably
I think we
yeah.
all know that mothers love their eldest and loved their youngest, and the one in the middle gets sort of neglected. And there's sort of like hopes and aspirations for the oldest and a fondness for the youngest. I don't know if you could quite say one is more favorite than the other, but it's definitely not the middle child. Middle child's get fucked.
Okay.
And he's all scarred and weird to look at, you know.
And then, final question. Given that you are clearly on the wrong side of history with a red dragon on the enemy's side, how high are the chances that you negotiate a good standing in Mystria, chilling for a bit while the world burns to your feet? Wait, are red dragons traditionally good, or?
No.
I think it's a joke.
No.
Oh, okay.
Your chances of just being friends with the dragon?
Well, or trying to negotiate something with her. Maybe we are ready to slay her and we spare her life.
Show up and be like, Scoria, look at all this treasure we got for you. Go destroy Drekis.
Yeah.
Let us be your servants. Could work. Could serve a new queen, a red queen.
Hot dragon mama.
Who knows? I guess we'll see when the time comes, huh?
Yeah, Scoria's got an 18 hotness score. That's for
True.
certain.
Maybe the queen should have used those truth candles. She could have known about the McGarry plan to overthrow her, but I guess now she doesn't, so we're good. Okay, yeah. Well, I think that's all the questions we got.
All right, awesome.
If If you guys want, you can sign up to the Patreon, ask questions, or support the campaign. I love you all very much. There you go. It's been fun. And I think that's it. Koibu, what's your next campaign?
Fuck all.
Oh.
Okay. Mooton. MootonMerch.com. What else you got for us?
Yeah, MootonMerch.com. About it.
And Nicholas. AG Greensburg.
Yeah, so AG Greenzerg on Twitch, but I recently made a YouTube channel. I've got some D&D stuff on there, some politics stuff. It's just Greenzerg on YouTube, so subscribe, please. Thank you.
All right, sounds good. Well, we will be back next week, same time. Stay safe. We'll see you guys later. Peace out.